Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 143. So I've been told by my beloved companions for this September the 23rd,
Yep.
2022. My name. Yep, thank you. Yep.
I have to check that one.
Yep, thank you, Dave. He's got my back all day, every day. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
On my right by Pilch.
Hello.
And back to bringing up the rear, it's Neil.
In my rightful place. Hello.
My name is Fraser. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, right. Everybody well?
Loving it.
All good, thank you very much.
Good. Okay, well, without further ado, because there's a point where we'll just start chatting anyway about ourselves, and it happens naturally. Let's jump straight into footy, of which there shouldn't be much. There really shouldn't be much football, should there?
What do you mean? We actually had a game week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Last week.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I'm blocking it.
Maybe actually, no, we won't bother talking about last week. Thinking about it.
I think we should, because I think you'll find I'm climbing the table again.
Oh, are you?
He's in second place, isn't he? Look.
Is he? Oh, I haven't
I
even
think
looked
I'm
at the
back-
table.
I'm about 3 points off of first, I believe.
You are indeed. One of those freakish weeks where someone does well.
Yeah, it was my turn this week.
When's Nathan Suleiman going to write into the show? Our leader, who number one on the leaderboard. This is the little test, right? Just a little test. You know, who's a listener and who isn't. You got to put your dues in to be on that board.
I think we should dock 4 points if he doesn't send an email in.
Oh, it'd be more. Yeah. So Nathan, do get in touch to make sure that you're still up there, that you're still out there and listening.
There was a week where
Pilch.
there was quite a few teams didn't play, so it was a bit of an odd week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had this discussion last week about Dave not using his free hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't. What's your secret of your success, Pilch?
Used a free hit.
I use me.
Tell us how you how do you approach, for someone up there living the heady heights up in the penthouse suite of the table. How do you approach the game?
Well, what I did. It's quite a thing, really. I took all my shit players out and swapped them with good players.
Wow,
and that seems to have done the trick.
Interesting tactic, that.
I had Salah in for 2 weeks. The first week there was no football. The second week Liverpool never played, so I've swapped him back for Sonny now. But I didn't have Sonny at the time when he scored his hat-trick last week.
Well, so you didn't have him last week?
No.
And you managed to get 70 points?
I still got 70 points, yeah.
My wife,
my
wife was top scorer, and she got 71 points because she captained Son. And my son was laughing at her when he didn't start the game. And then obviously came on and scored a 13-minute hat-trick.
Oh,
so then my wife was laughing.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. I'm having a shocker. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Well, you can only win it a couple of times, but then look at Leicester. They won the league a few years ago. Look at them now, bottom of the league.
I'm Leicester.
You are the Leicester.
It's early days, Fraser, and as long as the Seal wins, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
we're all in it together. I've heard that somewhere before.
It is early days, although at week I'm starting to slightly creep in. Panic stroke. I'll have panic, but I'll disguise it as like I don't care, right? But in fact, I deeply care.
Well, I think I've only actually changed 3 players from my original starting lineup. So I've just slowly did change one here, change one there. I haven't just gone wholesale panic second week and just ditch everybody.
No.
I just ditched all the shit players early, is what I did.
I've got a feeling Sonny's going to be on form now. So
yeah, if he's going to play.
Back in mid-team. He'll have to play now, won't he?
I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave him on the bench every week and bring him on for half an hour.
Well, if he keeps scoring goals from there, then that's fine. How would England do tonight? I didn't watch
It was fucking awful.
Was
Okay.
it? Oh.
Well, a bright spot was Jude Bellingham did look pretty handy, and he's like 19. He looks quite good. Otherwise,
good.
it was
That's for the
appalling.
future. Excellent. We'll win the World Cup 2036.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
maybe.
So do a rundown of the table. Where are we at,
So
Neil?
yeah, Nathan is top, as you said, 431 points. Pilch second on 428. Lord is down to third. That's a bit of a shocker. 410. Still not far off. Christian Barkley had a pretty decent week last week. 66 points for 409. Sam Hockley, 65. That's the top five at 401 points total. There's should we go around the bottom ones? Where are we?
Yeah. Middle table obscurity no one cares about.
Yeah. My daughter is second from bottom. She had a bit of a nightmare last week. I was having a
couple of Isaacs in the bottom three.
Yeah, but one of them got 71 points last week, so you know.
It didn't get out of the bottom three.
No. It's tight at the bottom. She was behind the latecomer, Glasgow Warriors, at one point, I think early last weekend. And yeah, or maybe it was the week before. But yeah, it was a weird week last week. So a lot of people may have used the free hits and burned wild cards and things like that. And a lot of people apparently are playing their wild card this week, not necessarily in our league, but just in general in the Fantasy Premier League competition. But who would do that early? I don't know. Who'd use a wild card before now? It seems crazy.
Only a muppet.
But yeah, obviously it's only 56 days until the World Cup kicks off, apparently. So we've only got, I don't know how many, 4 weeks? 4 game weeks, is it? 4 5-week games before World Cup. Something like that. So
maybe, yeah.
And
all right.
Looking at the fixtures coming up, there is a week where 2 teams which have probably got quite a few players of aren't actually playing in. Game week 12, I think it is. Arsenal are not playing Man City that week. They're the only teams not playing.
Why is that not on there?
Thanks for the heads up on that one.
They are playing. I think it's Arsenal catching up with a Europa League game that got cancelled or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh yeah. Oh, that could be a free hit week.
Oh, I don't know about that.
There's some big games next weekend though.
Yeah, Christian says he used his free hit last week. So yeah, at least it went well. At least you got some points. I didn't use my free hit, and I got 49 points, so I was okay. I'm happy with it. I was a bit bummed because I did one transfer, took out Ramsdale, put in Nick Pope, because Newcastle were at home to Bournemouth, and within about 20 minutes that seemed like a bad move because Newcastle were 1-0 down. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, the rest of the team did okay. So, and then Arsenal obviously kept a clean sheet. But here we go. I did actually get 11 on the pitch without using any chips, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, I only got 10.
You only got 10?
Yeah, one of my guys was injured.
I
had just enough cover.
10 players, not 10 points. I was like, didn't get that. It wasn't that bad.
No. I only had 10 players on the pitch. Okay. Any more footy?
Obviously, it's international week, so there's no games this week. Back on it next weekend. I'm not sure when the first game is. Keep an eye out for when the deadline is.
Might be a Friday night game, mightn't it?
They're all booked for Saturday.
Right, well, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
As it stands. Yeah, no problem. Starts on Saturday, no Friday.
I'm having real problems keeping up with this. Like the continual change of the deadline of when it happens, and all these bloody some game weeks are on, some are off. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about that, Dave.
Dave, you can change your team anytime during the week. You don't have to literally do it on the deadline. You can do it now if you want.
No, I've literally done it now. Yeah, I've literally like.
No, wait, no. You did tell me you didn't make changes to your team right now.
Just one.
Why?
Because the keeper I can't remember who it was.
Don't play for another week. You should wait and see.
Well, oh yeah.
If you come back from, because he could come back. Who is it? Was it
I
an
don't know. I can't
international?
remember now. It was a red. He had a red triangle saying not going to play. So I was like, oh.
Dave, we're going to look after you. We said this last week. We're going to give you the heads up to make sure that we get you in just before you need it. But you made the changes, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You got a bit early, but I'll allow it.
Hey, I haven't used any more wildcards yet, so maybe next week I'll have a look again.
Yeah, you got to get these. There's another few international games for this next few days, so you make sure everyone gets through them. Because one of my players was playing for Scotland last night, 2 nights ago, whenever it was. They won 3-0, and he got injured, and he's looking like he might not play in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But he was one of my cheap ones.
I made a early change a couple of weeks ago on the Royal Fantasy League, and that really fucked me up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be playing again. Carry on.
Rude.
Sorry, I was reading the text. I missed what Pilch said. I'll admit it.
Don't worry.
I wasn't fucking listening to you, mate, honestly.
It was one of those ones where, I can't make a funny crack and no one laughs. It was a bit like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. As long as we know where we stand. Okay. Well, that's it for footy.
Footy's done.
Football. All right. Okay. Let's move on then. Do we have anything? Did we do any streaming? There was some more streaming of Hunt Showdown last week. I think we did. Both Pilch did some, and we did some.
There was some other dodgy game on stream as well.
Yeah, there was a Game of the Year was streamed at the weekend.
Oh, which one was that?
I'm sure we'll come on to that.
Oh, we'll come on to that. Okay.
We'll come on to it, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the tweets and the communicados from everyone. Marty Greasy Fish Lips says, hope you're all doing well. Question of the week, fuckers. Which one of you is the most accomplished chef, and what's your favorite dish to cook? My wife's a brilliant cook, to be fair, but I do my bit, and my specialty dish would be beef Wellington. Much love. Beef Wellington, eh?
That sounds pretty fancy.
Do we want our resident expert to comment on this first before we all get poo-pooed? Come on, Neil.
What? I'm not the expert.
Well, you're always going on about the ingredients and what we should or shouldn't be having, or
I don't know about that. I don't know what you're on about.
Quality of a burger or whatever. So.
Oh, I had a dodgy burger today, by the way.
You've got 2 ovens. Come on, man.
Well, only one of them works properly. No, I ain't been down the pub today. I like to make burgers, my own burgers, but they're nice. But that's pretty basic. It's just beef and some salt and pepper, basically. So
and ground onion.
I'll use some granules occasionally, little dried onion granules. Yeah, give it a little bit of zing. But I don't know who cooks proper. I know Pilch is shepherd's pie chef.
I think we all cook, right?
Yeah.
I think we all.
Yeah, I would say I'm very good at following an instruction, and once I've sort of got a dish down, I've done it a couple of times, I'll then start making it my own. But yeah, like I can only cook once or twice a week. I cooked tonight. I've done burgers, homemade wedges, and curry sauce, chip shop curry sauce. Secret with chip shop curry sauce, carrots. Funny enough.
What?
Yeah.
What, for the consistency?
You cook down some onions and carrots.
A chef's base almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you put celery in it as well? Because that's usually what I put in it.
You can do, but it's the carrots that give it that sweetness and the consistency once you blend it down.
Well, that was something else.
But yeah, so I don't know. A spag bowl is a go-to. Oh fuck, I don't know what to cook. I've like just sort of put some stuff together. But yeah, I give myself a go at anything. I'd love to do beef Wellington.
I couldn't cook anything that fancy because no one would eat it.
I get worried
That's
about.
what I was gonna say.
I get worried about like, especially like beef Wellington, like ruining the beef.
Yeah, that to me is quite a daunting meal.
Yeah,
I mean, pastry is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you make your own pastry or just buy like the ready rolled? That's what I would do.
Oh,
if
you've
I
got to
was
buy
making
the
pastry.
ready.
You gotta
You-
buy it.
You got to buy it. They will like the fact that like 99% of the time it's absolutely perfect. I like making my own pastas, but that's just basically a dry stew put in pastry, put in the oven. But it's fucking gorgeous. Better than stuff you can buy in the shops.
Better than Ginsters.
Better than Gangsters. Gangsters is
I-
okay, but
I guess with the beef Wellington, you'd have to sort of just try and be consistent with your cuts, right? And then maybe 2 or 3 times you do the timing till you dial it in, and then I mean, every time you get it wrong, it's like, well, what's the worst that can happen, right? Oh, it's a little overdone, it's a little underdone steak. With pastry, it's going to be good every time. I mean, it's not a bad.
You put mushrooms around it as well. Is that what I think?
I think
that
you
what it
do mustard, pate. You can put mushrooms in between it. So yeah, so you have a you have your pastry, then you cover that. It depends, but yeah, mushrooms or pate. I think that gives it the kind of umami taste. Bit of mustard.
Ooh, look at
Oh,
him.
look
There's the
at
chef.
that!
Look,
He
listen, all the fucking
he
phrases
is.
coming
He's
out.
the real deal. There you go. There's
Mr.
the
I watched
answer.
MasterChef on repeat.
We were looking for the answer.
But I cannot look in the cupboard and go, "Oh, I'll make something out of that."
Can you? Because I look in my
No,
cupboard
that's-
sometimes and I think, what's the mouthfeel going to be like?
What, beans on
Chew-
toast?
chew
I
the
think
can.
that's the difference, isn't it, between someone who just likes to cook and a cook or chef, because they'll just open the cupboard and get 20 ingredients out and make something.
Yeah.
I
So
can't do it.
generally,
Just cannot do it.
No, but if you've cooked something enough times, like I always do a nice shepherd's pie or something, but I just know how to do it because I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
So you're not really. It's something that my mum
Not
showed
creating
me how to
something.
make, and then no. So, but if I opened the cupboard now and saw and got all that, I just think, yeah, just get something like bloody nuggets and chips or something out.
Well, I made something up the other day.
I
I
used
can't
to
even remember what it
do-
was. I just like went, I'm just going to make something. And made.
I used to do before we had the kids. Just loads of them like Jamie Oliver, chuck them in a pan and in the oven type, like put like pork chops with apples and or fish and pine nuts and stuff like that, and just with about 6 or 7 ingredients. But you literally just put it. I wouldn't have put those things together.
Right.
But when you see it in the book and think, oh yeah, that's pretty easy. It only takes 20 minutes. You chuck it all in, shove it in the pan.
Is that a Jamie
in the
Oliver
oven.
20 minutes, which is actually more like fucking an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes once you've got every single
once you've cut
ingredient
everything
in
up.
the
Yeah.
bowl.
Yeah.
But then my kids decided very quickly at an early age that they didn't like anything with the sauce on it. So and they wouldn't eat this. I just fucking give up making stuff at the end. That's what I can't be asked, because I'm not going to cook something. I'm not going to spend time cooking something and then I've still got to cook them something as a set.
Yeah.
So I just give up. I can't be bothered now. So I haven't done really proper cooking for years.
Yeah, I'll just do something pretty easy generally. Like I made fajitas tonight, but I made like my own spice mix. Made that up I made up a big chunk of spice mix. So and then it's done like 3 lots of fajitas. But they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you see, that's it all sounds like, we're all probably around about the same. We all know how to cook. We can all cook. Are we wonderful
Can't be bothered.
cooks? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of the things, isn't it? I mean, I don't cook because I love it. I cook because I need to,
Mm.
Well, sometimes I like, when you, I don't know, when you just, the other week, like I said, I couldn't remember what it was, but I just made something that was a bit spicy. Like, it was quite easy. I just like had some chicken, which needed using up, and I had a pot of chipotle paste in the cupboard. I was like, oh, I'm going to put that in something. And just made some spicy chicken with like that and some onions and peppers and a tin of tomatoes, and it was nice.
Mm.
But
yeah,
it's
But
pretty
things
basic.
Like a pizza. Things like a pizza. It's not.
Well, I
that
can make
difficult.
pizza.
Even if you buy the pizza dough and then you do this thing yourself and prove it and everything, and still not making it from scratch, I still rather just fucking go and buy a £5 pizza. I just can't.
Yeah, but they're
be
horrible.
arsed.
Well, I haven't
Money.
made one in ages, but I used to make my own pizzas, and they were fucking so good.
Pilch, can you get a little bit closer to your mic, mate? Sorry.
Yes.
Ooh,
Thank you.
that's
Oh,
much better.
look at that, rice and rich. There we go.
There you go. I'll
Oh,
sit
yeah,
here.
Thank you. Okay. He says, "What's your favorite dish to cook?" I know
Spag
we've
bowl for
done
me.
the
Spag bowl.
spag bowl. Yeah,
Yeah.
easy. I don't know. I just made a curry
Yeah.
tonight. I always like making a curry, so
Do you use a paste, shop bought paste, and then add things
this is a
to it?
paste. Yeah, I used a
Yeah.
paste. I have made my own ground. Got all the spices together or whatever, but
Bit
most
of
of
a
the
faff
time
in
I
it.
just buy. Well, the one paste I
Yeah.
have, it's back to the same Pilch is saying. Like this, if I was to make the curry I really want to make, my kids won't eat it. My wife will complain it's too hot. So I just make something for the status quo.
Keep them happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pilch,
Relatively,
favorite
anyway.
dish?
I don't know what favourite dish to cook is.
Shepherd's pie.
Favourite dish to eat would be probably yeah. I say everyone eats that. I have to take carrots out for Jack. I can't put onions in anymore.
It's not really shepherd's pie anymore.
It's not the same. No.
Meat and potato.
I used to do a really nice cod. It was cod with runner beans, sliced runner beans, pine nuts, and lemon.
Ooh.
It was beautiful. I like cooking that. But again, I don't do it very often because kids don't eat any of that. So,
Or is it just like plain cod?
Yeah, just a normal loin, and then you put the runner beans round it with cut up quarter some lemons, put them in there, and then pine nuts on top, so it they'll go nice and crispy. And then when you've finished it, you squeeze all the lemons all over the fish. It's fucking lovely.
Sounds good.
But it's only a 20-minute thing. You just chuck it in, and it's only like 5 ingredients, so that's pretty. Yeah, I like doing that. You like doing it because you like eating it. That's the
Yeah.
roast
Well,
dinner.
that was
roast dinner.
Yeah,
that was the thing. I was looking at Marty's question because he says, "What's your favorite dish to cook?" And it's like, well, is it what my favorite dish is, or what's my favorite thing to cook because of the cooking process itself? Like, I genuinely don't want to get up off my arse to cook, right? So, I'll say barbecuing. It's always pretty straightforward, no mess, very little mess anyway.
No mess. It's a barbecue.
Hardly. Yeah, it all goes on the barbecue, right? There's no.
Do you not clean your barbecue after you finish?
Every time you go to your barbecue, you have to scrape the mold off it, do you?
I do. I clean mine. Next day, clean the whole thing out.
Oh yeah, no. Well, no, mine's a gas barbecue, so
you just burn the mold off.
I don't even burn it. The mice come in overnight. They usually take off
that's what you have for dinner,
bits.
is it? That's your favourite dish.
My mate used to just a normal little kettle charcoal barbecue, and go around there saying about May or something, and I have barbecue. Right, okay, lovely. Finish the barbecue. There might be a couple of bits left on. And then he goes, it's about sort of July. Oh, come around for barbecue. Okay, yeah, okay. He lifts up the lid. There's the fucking sausages and the burgers from May.
May, no.
Get the scraper. Can't wait, get the scraper out. He goes, it's right, once you get the heat in there, that'll be all right.
It's just charcoal at the end of the day. It's just more charcoal.
So, but the sausages and shit would still be sat there from like 2 months earlier.
Gross.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, anybody got anything else to add to that?
Roast dinner is the one thing. I like it. It's a lot of faffing, but once it's finished, and it's all gone like 3 minutes later.
The end result on a roast.
Pop up a level and say Christmas dinner.
Oh,
because I know it's the same, but
it was too stressful because it's too much of it. That's when you need 2 ovens. It's Christmas dinner.
Yeah, that is the only time we've used our 2. So yeah.
Oh, you've got 2 as well. Have you kept that quiet?
Well, no, I've got one large oven with 2. I haven't got 2 separate ovens like you have. I've got an oven with 2 ovens.
Yeah,
a double oven
in the same device. Yes.
One's a bit smaller than the other usually in that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks, Marty. Good to hear from you. MS Rangers. Mark says, "Evening, boys. What was your first full-time job and how much did you get paid?" For me, it was 50 quid a week. Started as a junior in an office that turned out to be international air transport. Had no clue what to expect. The Dole office just set me up for an interview, and I've been in the game for 37 years now.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, first job. How much did you get paid? I mean, are we counting paper rounds and stuff like
That's
that?
not full time, is it? Full time job.
Full-time job.
Full time. I started when I was 16, 17 in an office, and I was on like 10 grand a year. But it was tax free, so it was actually not
Was
too
it?
bad. Yeah, you don't get taxed until you're 18. Well, I didn't anyway.
Oh right, yeah, maybe.
You don't get taxed at all
Till you're 18, yeah.
on as much as you earn. Wow.
So I was laughing. But yeah.
Then now you're crying.
It was actually at the same place that I am now. I just haven't worked continually at the same place.
Yeah. I can't really remember. It's like, I don't know. I had so many jobs,
One of your sales
part-time
jobs.
No, well, I had a lot of part-time jobs when I was 16 and upwards.
Converting
and then
it from pounds, shillings, and pence, and
oof. And then I don't know. My first job after university, I can't even remember. I did some telesales work. I ended
What
up
about your
working
coffee
on-
machine job? Was that full time?
Yeah, that was probably, I would say, my first real job. So that one, but how much did I earn? I fucking can't remember.
No, me neither.
I don't know.
I was working at Tesco's as that's the only place I've ever worked. So that was my first.
Yeah, but anyway, but that job was, yes, for anybody who that is interested. That job, I ended up just applying to some. This is how long ago it was, though. There was just a little newspaper thing that said wanted, and just engineers for repair work or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm sort of an engineer. I sort of think I've taken shit apart. I don't know, and I turned up, and it was for Mars, the chocolate people, and they have a coffee machine division, and I ended up somehow blagging my way through the interview. And then so I'd travel around the country fixing these coffee machines. It was it was all right.
Nice.
I got tons of stories from it.
Random offices and
Yeah, all sorts of weird fucking places. Like I went into factories where they're building jet planes, or the Weetabix factory, or shit like that.
Did you have to sign the official secrets act before you went in anywhere?
No, I don't think they gave a shit about me. It's like, please just most of the time it was just people just like, please fix the fucking coffee machine.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm going to murder someone if I don't get a coffee soon.
No one gives two shits about you. You're just some fucking guy who turns up to fix their shit, right? They're either pissed at you because it's fucking broken, or they're grateful that you've arrived, but they don't fucking want to be your friend. And if somebody does want to be your friend, they're usually a fucking weirdo. They've got nothing better to do than talk to the coffee machine repairman.
That's life in an office, isn't it? Fucking depressing.
That was all right. I only did that for a year, though. And then I went off and tried other stuff. Pilch?
When I was 16, my first job before I went into, because you couldn't go in the fire service till you was 18, so I did. I worked in a paper mill. I was on £80 a week, which
big bucks.
It was actually quite a lot of money, because my mates who all went and done YTS, because that was the thing, youth training scheme at the time, just same as an apprenticeship. They were on £37.50 a week.
Whoa.
And I was getting 80. Now, I can
yeah.
tell you that a bottle of Skull White Top was 50p in the pub. So 80 quid was quite a bit of money for a 16.
It's quite a lot of Skull White Tops.
Oh yeah.
Necking White Tops every Thursday, Friday and Saturday night, and probably Sunday afternoon as well. So yeah,
not
so
your
I
mates
was more
though.
than happy
They
with
weren't
that.
there on a Sunday afternoon, were they? Because they'd run out of money.
No, they ran out of money. Yeah.
I mean, there has to be a lot to be said for those early years of just the utter, like, your whole wage. You spunked basically the whole wage packet, right? I mean, that was the best thing about being young, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you do that,
So
but you
I
have to
get
pay it
enough.
on car insurance.
I did. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Neil, can you remember?
No,
Can you go
like I
that
say,
far
I was
back?
working at Tesco's doing something or other.
Oh yeah.
So, because I've never
All the
worked for
way
anyone
through.
else.
You
I've
were a
worked for
loyal
Tesco since I
soldier.
was 16. So
Thank you for
You're
your
one of them,
service.
aren't you?
yeah, weirdo.
Have you got the 1997 on your badge.
I've got 94 actually, but I did originally start in
94, was
91.
it? Okay.
I originally started
Okay.
in 91, then left for 10 weeks, 12 weeks or something.
Oh,
In 1994.
right. They don't
Didn't have a
officially
job for 12
recognize
weeks.
that.
Yeah, bastards.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Mark. That's cool. That's an interesting question. Tim Reaper or the Tim Reaper. Tim says, "Do you think that doing the podcast ruins the fun of gaming for you? Feeling like you have to play lots of different games to have things to talk about instead of immersing yourself into a single game."
I'm not sure if he's heard the podcast because
The Tim Reaper has just proved he isn't a listener.
No.
The hard thing is trying to talk about the same game for like months on end.
So for me, there is a little bit of pressure for like picking up a new game. It's only
Do you think
very
you'd have
little
played
bit of pressure.
Timberborn if you weren't doing the podcast?
Actually, yeah, no, that is one of the games I would have played, and I'm looking at going back onto it again because it's had an update. There are like random games that I wouldn't have picked up, but I don't know. Talking to you guys and the
At least you're not playing
actually,
fucking demos, eh?
yeah, at least I'm not playing demos. Just talking to you guys as well. The fact that you pick up different games, that sort of pique my interest. Yeah, there's like, there's one that I've played today that I probably wouldn't have done if it wasn't for the podcast, but I'm glad that I did. And it's nice to pick up new things, new games. So, but mainly not. Mainly I just sort of stay in my comfort zone of strategy and odd games.
Weird games.
Yeah. not manga hentai weird, but
no. Well, they don't talk about them anyway.
I think one of the things we had from the outset of this podcast was for it, to be based around. I mean, that's how we sort of came together, was through gaming, of course. But we were playing a lot of games together at that point, mainly PUBG, of course, right? But we were socializing a lot. It was like it had become a nice social. So the podcast really wasn't. It was born out. Video games are a good focus for something to talk about, but it was born out of it being a social, really, almost more than anything else. So I don't think gaming really, to me, like the gaming could disappear and I would still podcast. I started podcasting. My first podcast that I did wasn't even a gaming podcast. And I podcast not because I want to talk about games, but because I just want fucking someone to listen to my voice and I just want to talk. Right?
Someone to acknowledge your existence.
Yes, I need to validate my existence somehow. Please be my friend. But I think Pilch. Oh, hello, Pilch.
Oh, no, it's all right. Yeah,
you're
no,
there.
it's all right. Just
So I thought your
It's
mic
been
had gone.
rudely interrupted.
But I think Pilch, when you did your podcast,
What, the special
Pilchards
one?
and Cream.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't really a gaming podcast. I mean, it was and it was. Well, it was and it wasn't, right? I mean,
well, it was talking to gamers, but it wasn't necessarily. I mean, I could have spoke to anyone, I suppose. If I'd listened to any other podcast myself, I could have spoke to anybody about whatever their podcast was.
yeah.
But
I don't. But I
dunno.
remember talking to you on that podcast, and I think we barely talked about games, right? I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you think?
I'm at a point that I'm going to have to admit something now. Right. So normally I have a lot of time to play. So I still play the things I like. And I also have time. Lee, I'll do that. Hey? Someone's in the dishwasher. I get to play the games I want to play, but I also get the time to play the crap. All good, it depends on what it is. So I don't mind having half hour just playing something to see what it's like. It's when I haven't got so much time and I'm not playing the games I want to play, and I still think, I've got to play a couple of free things to talk about. and then I just think, oh, I don't know if I can be asked anymore. I've just paid for Modern Warfare 2, so you're not going to get anything out of me up till probably Christmas now, because that is all I'm going to be playing.
Which
So,
is fine, right? But almost like
I
if you'll
literally
be
will not play anything else, because once that is, I've played it today. I bought it this afternoon. I played like 5 hours of it
oh, okay.
already. In
He
just
already
the beta.
knows. He knows.
So right, this is £70.
That's the cheap version, isn't it?
Yeah, the other one was £100.
There was one for 85 quid, I think. I looked at. I was like, no.
Now, can I just say, right? When we got these, I know we're in a different generation. You have to pay more every different generation. I'm pretty fucking sure I remember someone saying, "Oh, when it all goes digital, we won't have them physical copies. It'll be a lot cheaper to buy these games." So you tell me, why is it $69.99 for the digital version, and the disc is $59.99? £10
Because they're
cheaper.
fucking you over.
I know.
It,
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
it was just a more money in their pocket, and
Because
they
they
knew
have
it, and they knew it. They knew that.
but you know what the other thing is? They have to shift those discs. Like they've made them.
Mm,
They got to sell them, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
once
I
all
don't
the
want them
discs
sitting
are
there
gone,
for
then that's it. Then they've done their disc run and they've made the money off the discs or
yeah.
whatever, and then everybody else can have their digital. But if the digital is cheaper than the discs, then they run the risk of holding the baby, right?
Mm. So I mean, I've been. When did I start podcasting? That was it's a long time. Probably 2014, 12. So 8 odd years myself. And you go through these little spells, don't you? I can't be asked, can't be asked. The thing is, if you're only playing games that you don't want to play, then it's not going to make a podcast anyway, is it? So you've got to keep the enthusiasm. You've got to play them games that you love playing.
Yeah.
Can't just say, well, I haven't got time to play that. I'm going to play these 5 games.
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you know
the
what?
games I play are literally playing for 20 minutes, and that's good enough. You can give your comment about them. It's not like we're like flipping doing full reviews on games. You've got to play it for like all week and then do a review on it. It's quite throwaway, isn't it? It's just to play it,
Can
talk
be.
about it 5 minutes, forget about it. Most of Game Pass is like that. But this is the last proper game I bought was Modern Warfare Remastered. That was 3 years ago now, and now I've bought the
What
next
do you mean a
Modern
proper
Warfare.
game?
So
Like a full price game?
full price day one
Right.
purchase. So I knew it was coming. I saw Jack playing it yesterday. I said, "Oh, you've bought it, have you?" He goes, "Yeah, it's really good."
Was he on
Are
PC?
you sure? Yeah. I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, it's just like old Modern Warfare." Okay.
All right. Well,
And
that's on your what we've been playing, right?
yeah,
Let's get to
I
that
just
because
spent 70 quid on it.
that's it. Just like your early wages, you could have afforded that back in the day,
Yeah.
and left yourself room for 10
Could have
fucking
bought it every
ciders or
week.
whatever.
10 skull white tops. No, 20.
Ah.
Still have room for 20 skull white tops.
How about you, Neil?
Um,
Do you find that you got to play stuff?
Well, I mean, the Game Pass is the only place that I go to pick up games that I
Not
might
your
think.
PlayStation Plus?
Well, yeah, a bit. I've got a load of stuff on the PlayStation that I've downloaded for PS Plus that I haven't started yet.
Right.
But I don't. If I'm not enjoying something, I just won't play it. I don't. I'll give it like a bit like Peel says. If you play it for like 10, 20 minutes and you're like, I'm not feeling this, then I won't stick at it if it's not good or I don't enjoy it. So I don't think it. I mean, there's other things that take the fun out of gaming, I guess.
yeah, it was
It's
actually
more
when I did
self-inflicted than anything.
when I was doing Game Punchers, I started to talk to a lot more publishers, and I actually got started to get quite a few free copies of games, which it's at the start was just like, oh, sweet. Like, we're doing a podcast, where she had a really good website. I thought everything looked good. And so, yeah, we can get free games. This is
You didn't bother
amazing.
with it so much this time, did you? Didn't put quite as much
Well,
effort in it.
well, the thing is, what happened was, you started to get these free copies, and it was almost we started to become victims of our success, because you then were sort of obligated to, give these people play them, give the people the feedback. Otherwise, you aren't going to get anything from the again, right?
Mm.
And then suddenly you're like, oh shit! Like, one, I'm not really enjoying this, and it became quite awkward,
Yeah.
funny at times, like when like Steve didn't mind because he didn't approach them, right? So I would just throw him a copy and say, hey, this is so when he came to review them, he didn't mind saying how shit they were. There was one where he actually said, like, if I could, I would take the disc out and cast it into the sun, which I still think is one of the best quotes ever. I was mortified because I told the people, because I always afterwards go, yeah, here's the link to you. I think that one I didn't even fucking ever talk to you again. I was like, I can't.
Oh, we couldn't record that week. Sorry. We'll try again next time.
So yeah, having to play games, like if you want to pay me a nice 3-figure, 6-figure salary or whatever, I'll play whatever you want and review it. I can do that. But my time is my time now, so it has to, you can't.
I don't think they
like
pay people 6-figure salaries to review games.
I have no idea.
Pretty sure they don't.
I probably don't.
You'd be lucky if you get 5.
Okay, is that good? Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. Thanks very much. Right, let's move on to what we've been doing. Neil, you have a blank space.
Yeah, fuck all. I learn nothing. I sleep and I work and I play video games. That's pretty much my life now.
Yeah.
You're still working nights, aren't you? You're going to be working nights.
Yeah, so I sleep at weird times. Like today, where I've slept about 3 times.
I know. I this week I have had to get used to you being around at different times. It's like, it's good.
Yeah, I can always play while you're supposed to be working.
I'm back to working. I work after all you guys have gone to bed. Okay, well then, shall I just start, and then Neil, you can join in and be part of what we did. Alien Resurrection, continuing our Alien theme.
Are you watching this with other people?
No, I just go to bed and watch it on my iPad. But anyway, Alien Resurrection. So this is the one with Winona Ryder and Ripley gets
hybrid Ripley.
Yeah, she gets, what do we call this? Cloned.
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and then like they were sewing her up and doing some shit and whatever, or there was something to do with an alien, whatever, of course. And then there's this bit where she's almost reborn, and she starts to come out of this cocoon, and she's pushing her way out of this sort of obviously some weird latex shit they've put all over her, like whatever. And it looked like some really bad contemporary theater, and I was just like, that's it, I'm out. No, I was out.
Oh,
that was it. Bye. See you later.
What's in the quadrilogy?
Is
that the quadrilogy? Is that the 4th film? Because you could get, that was a thing, wasn't it? You could buy the quadrilogy on DVD or whatever.
Oh god,
it's like a big deal.
If that was it, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Dave, you're familiar with that movie. Are you disappointed? Aren't you? Are you disappointed I didn't get on with that? I can't remember. Are you a fan?
That's actually the next one that I'm going to watch. So
Not for long.
I've seen it before. I don't remember that specific scene. Well, no, I do.
It might give you a different reaction, that bit.
Yeah.
Seeing Ripley come out all covered in gunk.
She doesn't have grey underwear on there, though, I don't think.
It's covered in gunk, though.
No, I'm not saying it.
I said it for you, sorry.
But no, I'll watch that, and then I'll give my feedback next week.
Yeah, okay, good luck. Staying with Dave, we watched a little bit more Moon Knight. That fucking has gone in a direction I did not expect it to go in. So I think you knew that was coming, and I was sort of like, oh yeah, la-di-da, there's going to be other ones. It's all going to be great. And it just, yeah, I don't know. It went fucking dark, to be fair, really, in the episode we just watched.
Right.
So is that family viewing then? Or is that just...
It is not young kid viewing. I think that episode that I watched, it's not young kid viewing as well at all, I don't think. It's pretty graphic. I mean, in the first one, Moon Knight beats the shit out of this guy in the toilet, right? It's pretty, it's not for young kids.
But are
but I think
you actually watching it with your family? I mean, like,
I don't have young kids anymore.
I
My
know
kids
you
can
don't.
watch anything.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, are you watching it with your family?
I watch it with my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, my wife and I were we're it's good right now. We got Moon Knight to fill in the blanks, and then we wait for the weekly episodes of the Hulk, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Um,
Get your pronouns
just
right.
yeah, gender appropriation or whatever it is. Lord of the Rings, which we didn't see. Oh, we did see last week, which was still, I think it's great. And yeah, it's good. And we've got Andor has just come out, and we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi we're going to get stuck into. So I'm in a
You're on a
real
Disney Plus
television.
vibe.
I'm on a big watching TVs and movies again. It comes in waves. So that was good. But anyway, I was downstairs earlier on in the week, and I was sort of moving some speakers around, trying some speakers out in different positions or different systems or whatever like that, which is super nerdy, but it's what I do. And I was like, I really don't need any more speakers. And if I do need some speakers, I need small ones. And of course, what did I do? I went out the next day and I bought some large speakers because that's what you do. Because why not? And what was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. I absolutely do not need these speakers at all. I convinced myself that
to be missed the deal. Like, such
a great deal. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. More than I've ever spent on it. I think that's more than I've ever spent on any component that I own.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
think £100.
I got $200, which I know doesn't sound like a lot.
£100. Well, it was a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, it's not today.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's up. I think the way you guys are going right now, that's probably a good
that's probably about £400. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really nice. I convinced myself to get them because they would fit into the living room nicely. They don't fit in the living room; they're too big. So anyway, I took them downstairs, popped them into my system downstairs, and they're fucking beautiful. They sound phenomenal. They look great. So I really love them. I absolutely did not need them.
So you're obviously going to flip a pair of your old ones and get rid of them.
Yeah, well, I keep saying that I'm going to do that, but
just add them to the pile in the corner of all of the discarded speakers.
Yeah, I've actually got a pair. I've had to move a pair up into my office. These are my Boston Acoustics behind me. They actually have no home right now. They've been ousted. So that's a spare pair. I have 2 more spare pairs downstairs with no homes.
Spare speakers.
So I'm running. Yeah, I have a problem. I definitely have a problem now, and I'm starting to spend more as well, it's creeping up. But I've got the taste. I've got the taste for finer stuff now. So I don't know.
And buy yourself a laser disc or something crazy now.
No, I don't think that would fit in. But I don't know. Maybe another subwoofer, something like that. There's always stuff I need. I don't know.
You can have like 6 subwoofers into one system.
I've got 3 right now, so I just need. I
Not
could do with
the same
another
system though.
No. In fact, I've got one that's not hooked up.
Have you put the one in your car yet?
No, I don't need it in the car. Actually, it sounds fine without it. So,
what are you doing with that then?
Oh yeah, that's another subwoofer. Yeah, that's in the. Well, I don't know what to do with that one.
I'll put it in your wife's car. She won't appreciate that.
She won't have that. No, it's too inconvenient.
Just put it in without her knowing, and just put the volume up really high, and then let her start her up.
What will happen is I think next year at some point I'll suddenly go, you know what? I think I should put that subwoofer in the car, and I will. But the problem is, and I've done this three or 4 times now. The fucking Jags are a fucking ball ache to work on.
I think everything is.
I think there's a lot of cars where tying in a subwoofer isn't that big a deal, but the Jags are just a fucking pain in the ass. They have this. I think they have this optical fibers. I know they do. They basically communicate between the head unit and the rear amplifiers and stuff like that through fiber optics or optical cable or something. So tying into signals is just a pain in the ass. That being said, I don't actually think this Jag has a separate amplifier, which means it all comes off the head unit, which again is in itself a fucking nightmare, because if you look at the modern car, it's not like all the good old days where you just take out the head unit.
It's all built in.
Yeah.
Bespoke.
So So I don't know. For now, no. But yeah, there you go. I have a problem. I admit it.
What have you got then? What make have we got these new ones?
These speakers are Fluence.
Not heard of them.
Canadian made. Yeah.
Obviously best.
Best in the world. Yeah. So.
Real maple wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Real
Get a nice
veneered.
sweet sound. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I actually had to drill into them. I drilled into the bottom of them to put some spikes on, and
Did maple syrup come out of them?
yeah. And I tapped it. And I tapped it and put a bucket.
And that's how they do it, isn't it? That's how you get maple syrup.
That's exactly how they do it. Yeah, they just tap the
Yeah.
Not out of speakers, out of trees.
Yes, out of the trees. Yep. Yep.
Yes,
So
out of the trees.
yeah, anyway, yeah, the saga continues.
The ongoing speaker collection.
I should
Speaking of
wire some of
sagas,
mine up.
actually, you should. Always should. But speaking of sagas, Pilt, you have BT Saga. Thought we were weren't we good with BT last week?
We were we were good-ish. Okay, so I said last week that I signed up for a new deal for my broadband and my TV. Part of the deal was that I would get some new Wi-Fi discs to make a nice mesh system. Just quickly, the previous system I had Wi-Fi, BT Wi-Fi discs, but you had to have one disc that was plugged into the router, and they used that as the base unit and turn the Wi-Fi off your router. I had to have one disc in my kitchen because I've had BT TV and it only worked on Ethernet, so I had a disc there and used that as the Ethernet connection. I then had one upstairs in the lounge, one in Jack's room, one in Daisy's room, and one in the office. So at any point, I had 6 of these discs all around the house, and the fucking things used to go off and need resetting and constantly pissing about with them. When they worked, they were brilliant. When they didn't, it was a fucking headache. So I got these new discs. It's integrated with the router. So the router is the main box, and then they speak to. You don't have to have one physically plugged into the thing. So I thought, right, so I'll get rid of one disc that way. The second disc, because I signed up for BT TV, the latest box that they've got has got Wi-Fi now. So I thought if I make sure they give me in a new box, I won't need the disc by my TV in the kitchen. So that'd be another one missing. So I ordered 2 discs with the router. And what happened is they sent me a disc. I set it up. I was running just one disc in it, and considering there was only one rather than 5, it was actually working quite well. So I thought, well, I'm going to need another disc, but I also want a new router because mine's like over 2 years old. It obviously isn't as good as a brand spanking new one. So I phoned them up and said, can I have a replacement router? And they and ahed for a little while. And I said, it's 2 years old. It's constantly ticking in the bloody in the hallway. So obviously keeps turning itself on and off, whatever. So they sent me a new router. Then I get this email saying, please return the old router and the one Wi-Fi disc. So that's fucking weird. They've only just sent me this pissing disc. Why have I got to send that back? £110 for the router and £70 for the disc if you don't send it back. So I thought, okay. Then I realised I hadn't got my TV box. So I phoned them up and said, look, where's my TV box? Oh, we didn't say you was going to have a TV box. We'll have to investigate this. I said, well, you always...
mate, what are you? What hole are you down? Last week, I thought that you had. This was it. You'd phoned them up, said, "I want new internet." Got it for the price. Brilliant.
Got the box. Got all the stuff. Excellent.
And now a week later, we're here.
right. So this was Saturday morning. This all fucking started to.
What's this
So
tick
I
tick
said,
tick? They never gave you a new router,
oh,
a
it's,
new.
yeah, well, the router just, it's obviously getting old. It's
But they
constantly.
never gave you a new one when you changed. They just
No,
flicked a
they just
switch and
sent
gave
her a
you a
disc.
better. So,
Yeah, yeah.
oh.
Right. So I gets on the phone. You can't just get on the phone. You have to fucking go
Oh, that's
through.
palaver, yeah.
I got passed on to 5 different people on Saturday morning. I was sitting in my kitchen when I started my phone call. I walked into town, got my hair cut, and come back again, and I was still talking to people.
Fucking hell.
So I got to this final person, and he said, "What seems to be the problem? Because every time they fucking connect you to someone, you've got to go through the whole fucking rigmarole again, ain't you? Every time. I've just told your colleague, oh well, can you tell me, right?" So basically, they said, there's no record here of us saying that we're going to give you this new box because they're like 200 quid for this TV, fucking 4K, blah 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 box.
Mate, they bait
said-
and switched you.
I said, right, I'm fucking telling you now. The first thing I said in the conversation was, I want a new TV box. Oh, we're going to have to listen to the phone call. I said, you go off and listen to it and you phone me back. And while you're there, where the fuck's my new router? And why have I got to send this disc back that you only sent to me 3 days ago? Ah, well, the disc's attached to the router, so if you send the router back, you have to send the disc back. I said, well, how can it be attached to it? I've had that fucking router for 2 years. Oh, well, it's all logged in together. It's all got serial numbers, so you'll have to send it back. So I said, well, at the moment, I'm sending 3 things back and I haven't got anything in return. So I says, if you don't phone me back this afternoon, I'm gonna just fucking go online and cancel the whole lot because you get like 14-day
Yeah.
calling off. So they phones me back. Oh, yes, sir. We've listened to your phone call. You did mention it at the start of your call, but it wasn't mentioned again. So I said, right. So I mentioned it at the first start thing. The first thing I said was, I want this. Yes, that's correct. We've decided to send you the box free of charge, sir. Oh, thank you very fucking much.
Nice.
So what about my router? Oh, yes, we'll send you the new router as well. Right. Thank you. So on Tuesday, I got a new box and a new router and 2 new discs. So I've set up my Wi-Fi for my BT TV. I've got a router in the lounge upstairs and a router in Daisy's bedroom and a disc, I mean. So we've got 2 discs and the router. It fucking works perfect. I get 350, 400 down in every single room. And before I was getting, even with like 5 of these discs, I was getting at best 200.
Oh, boo.
So, yeah, but when everybody's on it and you're getting 200, that's not very good. So finally, after 2 years of pissing about and a week of a lot of fucking phone calls and a lot of swearing, I've finally got everything that I want, and it works absolutely
Go
beautifully.
to the closest piece of wood and touch it. I don't want to hear about this next week.
You won't hear about it next week.
Okay.
The only thing is
Because he won't be able to go
router is,
online next week.
the router is it takes a little when you get a new router and you're messing about setting things up. Obviously, I had to set all my whole every device had to be reconnected to it and all that fucking shit. Put all the passwords in and God knows what. It takes a few days for it to settle down because the line thinks if there's a fault while you're messing about. When you reset your router, if you do that too many times, the line thinks that there's a fault and it drops your throughput, drops your speed down, and once everything's settled down, it refires it up apparently. So they said it takes nearly a week. Do not reset your router. You should apparently you should never fucking turn your router off because it's if you keep turning it on and off, the line thinks there's a fault and it starts throttling your internet.
Yeah,
But
normally you're
anyway,
only rebooting it when there is a fault. So yeah.
well, that's what I
Yeah.
fucking said. I don't go to. I don't think. Oh, I just reset that this morning.
They do it themselves, though, don't it?
So
Like the BT, my router's done it a couple of times. Definitely,
yeah.
just like
Well,
rebooted
this is
itself.
what this is what the tick tick ticking is. That's why mine was constantly tick tick ticking because the fucking thing kept resetting itself. And once that's not a problem because it takes 3 minutes. Half the time you wouldn't even notice it unless you're actually doing something at that point. You're in the middle of a game. You go, fuck it. Internet's gone off for 3 minutes. But when that goes off, 5 discs in the house all go off and all need reconnecting. That was the problem I was having.
Right.
Well, I haven't got that problem now. It's been going since Tuesday and not one. I haven't had one shout down the stairs. It's gone off again. So, and I just done a speed test here just on my MacBook and I got 800. And that's on
Nice.
Wi-Fi. The
Nice.
router's just literally across there. So finally, I'm happy.
You can put like
Temporarily, at least.
you could put a raw chicken between your Mac and the disc and watch it cook.
Yeah. I watched. I've been to the gym. I'm going 3 times a week. I've stopped the swimming completely.
Oh, I did get back.
So,
Sorry, to Pilch, just to jump on. I did start swimming again this week, so I went 3 times this
okay.
week. Yeah.
So I'm in the gym now. I do a half hour of weights. I row for 2,000 kilometers.
2,000 kilometers.
2000. You come over see me.
2 kilometers. That takes me 10 minutes.
2,000 meters.
Then I do a quick 1 kilo. It's not far, but 1K run, and then because I cycle to the gym, I do a 10-minute off road round the footpaths on the way home ride. So
just to warm down.
just to warm down, yeah. So, but so that's going all right. Not getting bored.
Oh, good. Are you watching your weight, or are you not worrying about?
Well, I'm losing girth.
Ooh,
I'm
that's bad, isn't it?
getting thinner, but I'm not.
I wouldn't know.
Not getting any longer.
You just change your body shape. That's the thing. So I get a bit more weight on top, but lose it around your waist. So I'll stay the same sort of weight. I won't lose too much.
You're not aiming to lose weight. You're just bulking.
I was originally. If I was just going to go swimming, it would be to lose weight. But I'm eating so much chicken and fish and shit now that I won't.
Don't be eating shit.
I won't lose
As soon as he says it, I look down at Neil and he's just waiting. I'm like, he's going to say it. He's going to say it. And then he says it.
Okay. So, like my last thing, I watched the Grand Tour Top Gear that was Clarkson
The
and
Scandi.
Co.
I can't remember what it's
The
called.
Scandi Flick. It was all about rally cars. It was. I don't know. I chuckled in various parts, but I don't know. They're just getting too old.
Is it a bit of a tired formula, you think?
Yeah, it's the same old thing, and it's the same old thing again. And I think they just try too hard. There was actually one genuine accident that.
Oh, is that where he stacked it into the cave wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
But they said that was fucked up as well, right? From what I saw, it was like he had no safety gear on.
No, didn't.
Like,
basically, we'll spoil it for people who haven't watched it yet. Basically, they go through this big tunnel in Finland or somewhere, great big tunnel, and they decide that they're going to see who can go the fastest down this little tunnel. It's literally like a train tunnel sort of size thing. You just get a car down it. They're in rally cars, Subaru Imprezas, Mitsubishi Evo, and they decide to go see who can go the fastest before they got to the end of the tunnel. And unfortunately, James May didn't get. Well, he did get to the end of the tunnel, but he crashed straight into the wall, doing about 80 miles an hour, and it was a horrendous crash. It was bad, and he literally they had a camera inside the car, and he just literally smashed straight onto the glass at the window. I'm surprised they let him carry on.
Was he wearing a helmet?
No, nothing. They got nothing.
What the fuck?
They were literally doing like 130 mile an hour. It's pitch
hell.
black. Couldn't see a thing down this little, like going down a train tunnel. And they had to go as fast as they could, then stop before they got to the end. He didn't stop.
Well, he did.
It's quite horrific.
He did, but a little bit
Yeah,
abruptly.
he did stop. Yeah,
Abruptly,
the car was literally fucking smashed to pieces.
Jesus.
But the rest of it was just usual old Clarkson just making a noise at the cameras.
Making some funny faces, did he? Makes a few funny faces.
I resubscribed to Prime just for that.
Nice.
So
Make sure you sub to us on your freebie.
I think that was still running. So you're all right. A little bit longer. So yeah, I think I've probably watched other stuff, but nothing worth complaining about. I only talk about things I don't like.
Where are you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. I watched the film Nope.
Oh, right.
It's actually really good. It was a really good drama, horror, sci-fi film based in America, sort of Midwest. One of the actors is really, I think he was in.
Is it Daniel something? Is he that guy?
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name is. He's in
been
the
in
other films. He's been in his other films.
Yeah, he's known for horror films. It was really good.
This is Jordan Peele's latest film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in
Okay.
what was the first real sort of big one? Went big.
Wasn't it
Last
Let Me
one
In
was
or
Us.
something?
I don't know if it was the last one.
Or
One of
Get
them's
Out.
Us.
I can't remember.
Get Out. That
Get
might be it.
Get Out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Let Me In, which I think is the vampire movie.
Right. Because obviously they're not allowed in if you don't know.
No.
Yeah, that was good. That was a really good movie. I didn't think much of the one after that, Us.
I've not seen any of them, so I can't comment.
So what's Nope? How is that? Good?
It's really good. Yeah. It's about aliens, kind of.
Did you go to the movies to see this?
No.
Did you watch it on your streaming
I
service?
watched it on a streaming service.
Obviously, you
such
had
a
to pay for
liar.
this because it's not out yet. So
Yes.
Yeah.
you rented
exactly,
it.
Because it's still in the cinemas here.
Is it?
Is it?
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can rent it.
You can get it on Amazon here.
Oh yeah, for $25 from Apple.
$25.
Um,
Har
But yeah,
har, me mateys.
but I also
We do be sailing the seas, Captain Dave.
I looked into it a bit further because there's a part of it that has a storyline about a chimpanzee, which features. Not sure how it features in the story, but it features the past, and it was actually based on a real event in America with a chimp called Travis that basically ate the face of a lady who was looking after it.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the woman who she survived, and she was interviewed by Oprah Winfrey.
I was hoping we were going for a monkey playing the saxophone or something.
No,
but
this
didn't-
is a murderous.
It's got-
monkey.
but
I hope they got
Okay.
the chimp on for balance, like they would if it was the BBC or something.
No, the monkey was murdered. Well, not
Murdered?
Well, it was shot and killed because.
Yep, that sounds like murder.
Well, you know.
Monkey murder.
He was euthanized.
Monkicized.
Humanely destroyed.
By a bullet through the brain.
I don't think humanely destroyed.
But yeah, it was quite an interesting thing that this film about aliens actually made me look into a real world event that some of the storyline was based off, which was quite interesting, but very dark. But yeah,
We'll be
if you get a
searching
chance-
chimpanzee murderers tomorrow.
not murderers,
Well, someone had to murder the chimp.
murderous. I don't think the police officer
Don't
was.
kink shame Neil.
It was the monkey's the monkey the
Monkey.
murderous monkey.
Is he a monkey? I think he might be an ape.
I don't know. It was a.
Has he got a tail? Don't think chimps have tails, do they? Monkeys have tails.
I wasn't looking at the rear end of the monkey eating somebody's face.
Monkeys like to have their rear ends looked at.
She wasn't looking at his rear end either, obviously, while it was eating her face.
So yeah, no, it's good.
Come on, Dave, take control. You gotta claw control back of this one.
If you get a chance to watch it because it is really good.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
It was good.
It was good.
Okay.
Next thing I've got on the list is I've purchased. I haven't actually received it yet. A miter saw.
Mm.
Why have you bought a miter saw, Dave?
Because I was making a flower pot bed, a massive 2-meter flower.
A raised
bedding area out of decking that I had spare from all this construction, and I have no way of cutting a straight line. I've got a jigsaw, which has its place.
You needed a miter saw.
I needed a miter saw.
You can't beat that when those are the cuts you got to make, right? Zip, zip, zip.
Just a 90-degree.
Miter saw's a hand saw, is it?
Miter saw is a it's a deck.
I know what it cuts angles and stuff. Like you can set the angle and it'll cut.
Yeah, it's got a steel blade, and it basically just cuts.
But you are manually operating the saw, are you?
No,
or is it
up and down.
Oh, okay.
It's an electric. Yeah, you just pull it down. It starts up and then goes down. I could have got one that had a slide out, which could have made a bigger cuts, but I thought it was literally 50 quid from Screwfix. Normally these decent ones go for like 200, 300 and can go up to like 600-700.
You can pay what you want to pay, right?
Yeah, I've purchased the cheapest one, and the cheapest one that's actually not too bad.
All right, for someone who's going to use it for one project a year, right?
Yeah, couple of times a year. And I thought if I do actually end up using it a lot, I'll spend a bit more money and get a better one. But for the first one, I was like, I'm so easily led down sort of feature creep with I could get the slide
this
out.
This one's got a laser, so I can see where the cut's going.
Yeah. But no, like reading on it, it's like you don't need lasers. Like just bring the thing down on what you're working on. Does it hit the line? Yes, no, yes, does. We'll cut it there then. You don't need a laser to save like a second of. So so I'll see. But I've got some pending DIY jobs this weekend. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And I've got some more stuff that I've got to do this weekend. One of the things is I'm replacing the garage side door, not the main garage door, but the actual side door. So we had a door delivered on Thursday. So the door frame itself is completely rotten, and the door's not much better anyway. So we've bought a door, and I need to cut and fit a door frame. Same specs it is with this miter.
Good luck with that, man.
Yeah.
The worst shit that I've had to do around this house has usually been doors.
So I've got all the specs, and I know I've got the wood.
You
can buy doors in frames already, right?
Yes, that was about 200 quid extra. So like it's a wooden door that we bought, because the door was not much better. That was going bad as well.
We're taking bets now. At what point the 200 quid becomes irrelevant?
So I've measured the door that was there and bought the same measured door and made sure it was all square and everything, and it was. So, and I've got what I need for the frame. So the wood, made sure the wood's the same depth and width and all that. So it's just the new stuff isn't rotten. So, but I just need to cut it up. I need to make just some decent cuts and put it together. And yeah, screw it all in and set it up. So I'm expecting it's going to be a
This is
full
proper.
day job.
This is this joinery. This sounds like joinery.
Oh,
or
mate, that has full
carpentry.
day written all over it,
Mm.
if not the next day as well. Make no mistake.
So
It's
I've
like
already
this,
prepped.
This has. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm just going to call someone to do this. Written all over it.
You might have bit off more than you can chew.
Oh, yes.
See, it's not just me. It's not just me.
That's
Must be
awesome.
catching.
No, very good.
Saw
That
that
wasn't.
coming.
Oh, mate, they don't stop.
So yeah, so that's this weekend basically. I've already got some plastic and some duct tape in case it doesn't go
That's
as
what you're just
planned.
going to do. End up using.
And I'll just plastic
They're
over
like
the
strips of duct tape over the doorway.
Do you think
So,
this is going to spill into next weekend as well?
hopefully
Very
not.
possibly.
Hopefully this is going to be a tomorrow job, and then if it's like runs into Sunday, I'll call my dad because he's a builder and this is his bread and butter. But it's like
That sounds
no,
like the first thing you should have done.
Okay.
no, I want to do it. I mean, I specifically was like, come on,
Yeah.
I've got to just do it now. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
but,
if you can cut it out, if you've got your dad as backup, that's
If
awesome.
it goes well,
Yeah,
you should still call your dad and say, "Dad, look what I did.
oh god,
Oh, you
yeah,
will. You
yeah.
will.
Look what I did. Are you proud of me,
For
Dad?"
sure. Look at this shoddy workmanship. I never loved you.
What joker fitted this? It's fucking newsletter.
Yeah, I won't be calling them again.
No. So no, that'll be interesting. And then the other thing I've done of note is I upgraded to Windows 11 today.
Oh, I had a thing on my computer that said I could upgrade to Windows 11. I was
know
like,
it has a little
should I click
window.
that button? Probably not.
Yeah, it had a little blue symbol in the bottom
Yeah,
right,
that's
which is
what I
normally
had.
the orange one means there's an update, and I was a blue one. I was like, what's that blue thing? And I do it on purpose because like, oh, what's that mean? And it's like Windows 11, and it does keep on randomly popping up saying, oh, you can upgrade to Windows 11. And I was like, nah, putting it off. And then there was another big update to Windows 11, which was actually quite well received from what I read, saying that it's made a lot of things more stable.
What, more stable than 10 or more stable than it was previously on 11?
More stable than it was previously on 11. And there is some notable additions that is only available on Windows 11. I can't remember what they are at the moment. I'll read about it later. But I was like, fuck it, I'll see. I kicked it off at like 10 o'clock this morning. I was like, oh god, this is, I want to get this done before 10 o'clock at night so I can actually do the podcast. It took about an hour and a half in the end downloading. I could still continue to use my computer while it was downloading. Then it said download complete, prepare to upgrade, and it was just like a Windows update. It was like we updated, rebooted, updated the rest of the way, rebooted, logged me in, and yeah, it was like perfect. As well, I've only been using it for a couple of hours, but apart from the UI changes,
So you
Is Dave still there? Is Dave still there?
Yeah.
Dave.
There was a little bit of messing about my mic and camera. Some of the
Here we
defaults
go.
had changed. But it was literally like 30 seconds to resolve that.
So is your menu in the middle now at the bottom?
Yeah.
So it's like a Mac.
I don't know what a Mac looks like.
Is that why they put theirs in the middle, don't they?
Do they? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's functionality exactly the same. Like all my apps were the same: OBS, Steam, Epic, Origin, Discord.
You played
Xbox.
any games with it on?
Yep, I played all the games on Spiderheck.
Well, we really pushed it to see if it was working.
Yeah. and it's all my passwords and remembered sites and everything like that, all the same. So I was just really impressed at actually how quickly it did it, and yeah,
It hasn't broken
It
yet.
has to.
it hasn't
has,
broken it.
but it has to be like that now, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
days of old of like Windows getting away with like, oh, we're going from XP now to Windows 7. Here you go. Oh, it's a fucking shit show, right?
Yeah.
I think, I think it was Vista that was the shit show in between.
Or not even that it's a
XP
shit show, in that like it's a big event, a big deal to do it. It's a hassle, shit changes. Like,
and you have to pay as well.
one of the things now that we're all, I mean, I'm sort of part of the Apple ecosystem in that I use an iPad and whatever. But the reason I really keep going back to the iPhone is because when I come to change it or upgrade it or do whatever, just as consumers now, we're very much more discerning about it being a fucking ball ache, right? They have to make that shit work. They really do.
But yeah,
mean-
it was just so well done from my side. So
Well, but then that's the thing that could make me just do it, right? Right now, I'm not doing it because I'm like, why the fuck would it works? Why would I get involved, right? But if you tell
there
me,
is some
you press the
features that are
button,
only in 11, isn't there? I think. Well, not necessarily out yet, but they're coming.
it's very rare though that I've gone from, up to the next operating system and there'd be features that I feel have improved my life. It's basic features that I need to just enjoy my day-to-day usage of Windows have been around for a long time now. I don't know. What do we know?
I think it's the gaming stuff. There's going to be like direct storage, I think, is the thing that's going to be a Windows 11 exclusive, I think, which is where it's like if you've got the super fast SSDs, then instead of it like going via this long convoluted way into the graphics card, it will just go like direct to the graphics card. So you're sort of more like a console architecture for gaming.
Okay.
So you get supposedly big performance gains from your current
yeah,
stuff.
HDR performance and gaming performance and stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll try it out and I'll give you my update next week.
Cool.
All right.
And that's it, really, for me.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dave. Let's move on then to what we've been playing. The games part of the games part of the show. Who wants to start? I don't have anything in my list because you guys all mentioned the two or three games I play anyway, so I'll just piggyback onto those. Pilch, you've got a good old list there. Do you want to start us off?
Okay, I will start you off. I do Deathloop last because then Dave can jump in. I've played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 beta.
So have I.
Oh, it's bloody good. It's Call of Duty. It's what you expect it to be. It's
the last one. The last beta we played, I think, was was it Vanguard or whatever, World War II? I think, and that was like that was not like Call of Duty that you'd been playing.
No, I didn't buy it, so that tells you all you need to know. And I think there was only 2 maps. I think I only cycled through 2 maps today. It's very fast. It's definitely Modern Warfare. Time to kill and spawning is literally you kill, you die, you kill, you die. You might get 2 or 3 kills, then you die.
I definitely did, and in one game I was doing a lot of dying in one game. And not much killing. And then I had a game where I got like a 15 kill streak. And I was like, that's pretty fucking awesome. I don't think I've ever done that.
I think I was pretty much up on my kill death ratio on most of the games, but I was dying a lot. I probably was doing in one game, it was like probably 12, 15 kills and as many deaths.
Are you playing just the standard like deathmatch domination?
I'm playing
playlist.
Yeah, I've got the full the cycle of however many. I think there's 5 modes on. So I've played domination, team deathmatch, I think it only generally was cycling around those.
Yeah, because
Didn't see any
there's
kill
2 or 3
confirmed.
new game modes separated out in there. I don't know if they were live. I don't know. They're on the menu.
Yeah, they're on the menu. I just went into quick game every time, so I never selected anything in particular. There's a lot of upgrades, more than the previous games.
They've changed the way it works
The
a bit, haven't
difference
they?
is right. Yes. Well, what it used to be, you get a gun, and then you just keep ranking up that gun to open up attachments and stuff. Now you have to use different guns to unlock other attachments for other guns. So you can't just spam a gun. I mean, I only in the last Modern Warfare, even in Warzone, I used one gun. I only used the M4.
Yeah, that's what you
And
start with, isn't it? Every time.
It didn't take long to rank to max that, and then have all the attachments and the perfect gun that I wanted. But now it seems that if I want to get a laser sight for me M4, I've got to use a bloody shotgun and get the points from that. So
there's also like
not...
your perks. You get to choose them, don't you? You can like build loadouts with your perks and stuff.
You can build a loadout with all your perks. You can choose standard loadouts, so you might have an assault loadout, which will give you certain set of perks. But once you get into your own, the first few games, you just get stuck with their loadouts, don't you? The way they're pre-made. But the only trouble is, as soon as you get your custom loadout, if you're only like on level 3, like I was, you haven't got anything to put in it anyway.
No.
So, crappy old shotgun, and I couldn't change any of the perks because you haven't unlocked them. But that's most of the fun of the progression. So at least that's going to be in there to keep you going for a while. It used to probably take, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks to max out, like whatever level 50 I think it was on the previous game before they started doing all these seasons. Yeah, but that went out the window once they brought in the bloody season passes and Warzone and shit. Hopefully they'll keep that, and so you can progress properly. But it won't be long before they bloody merge it into the bloody Warzone.
Well, Warzone 2
at the
is
moment,
coming soon. Does it come out at the same time as this comes out, Warzone 2?
I would assume so, because it's going to be so behind now, isn't it? It looks really good. It looks a lot. I mean, I didn't play Vanguard and I didn't play Cold War, so I'm going back 3 years now to the previous one. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Or it looks more Black Opsy though. There's quite a lot of verticality in it. There's a lot of levels in the buildings. Just one point, I think someone was like 3 stories up shooting down onto me. So, which is good, as long as at least it hasn't got all that jumpy.
Well, the thing I noticed, it seemed to me,
grapples
is that
and shit.
The big mechanic that used to be, it felt like, was you sprint and you slide, you sprint and you slide, and you sprint and you slide, and that's what everyone did. And I don't think you do that anymore, do you? There's no slide. You crouch, and
there
just
is
crouches.
a slide, but you can still slide, but he slides forwards rather than feet first. You go like head first. He lays on the floor and slides along the floor.
So he doesn't go as far as he used to. And it takes longer to probably get up and stuff like that, because that's what I mean. Now, what I noticed, it was like playing Halo, because everyone was jumping everywhere. It was like, instead of sliding and sprinting, it was now sprint and then jump around corners and stuff like that, which is what always used to happen in Halo.
There's loads more points where you can mount your guns from. You can pretty much mount your gun to, just peek around a corner and mount your gun to any corner of something.
There's third-person mode as well.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the third-person mode. I don't know how that's going to work.
I think that's a separate mode. So,
but the gunplay, it's Call of Duty, isn't it? You can't.
There's a lot of bullets coming out of them guns. That's all I know. Having played a lot of,
I've heard a lot of people complain about it, saying it's not as good as Warzone, the old one.
Well, because Warzone is all tied in, and it felt like Modern Warfare. It felt like the Modern Warfare 2 used to feel, but they can soon nerf it and change it and bugger about with it.
Yeah.
It depends what you want. I wanted it to be Modern Warfare. I played the previous Modern Warfare so much.
It feels like Call of Duty, like good Call of Duty to me. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
I haven't played loads of it. And whether it will get boring, I don't know. But it feels like fast pace. Everyone's sprinting everywhere all the time, fucking like headless chickens, and fucking then you're like you either get the jump on someone and you kill them, or they fucking jump you and you're dead.
So many run around the corner and shoot someone in the face, literally. Like there's so much of that. It's just constant, someone on top of you all the time. You can't. Well, you might be able to on some.
It's very noisy, constant fucking. All you hear is bullets flying everywhere. It's good.
And
if you like that kind of thing.
And things going off, all the perks going off everywhere, and it's good. It's bloody good. So good that I've purchased it. So
yeah, I haven't.
How did you get the beta then?
On Sky VIP there was a thing that it said like, one of the rewards one week was like, we can get you early access to the beta on a platform of your choice. If I could have chose PlayStation, I guess, and been on early lot, because it's been on PlayStation over a week, hasn't it? I don't know if it's been running that whole week. I know MintSafe was playing it. But I didn't bother on PlayStation because I don't like to play on a controller anymore. So I've been playing on a mouse and keyboard on the PC. It's crossplay. I didn't notice. I can see Xbox people in my lobbies and things like that.
Yeah, it's crossplay. Well, interestingly, I was playing Modern Warfare 1 yesterday, and I don't know whether they've turned it off, but I couldn't get into a game unless I enabled crossplay. There was I was sitting in lobbies for like 10 minutes at a time, never finding a game.
It's because everyone's playing this.
Well, I'm wondering whether they've they've stopped you from just playing on your platform and made it. So many people were doing it crossplay anyway. I'm wondering whether there weren't enough people on Xbox on the old one to keep it running.
I can't believe that. There still must be loads of people playing it on Xbox.
Well, I couldn't get in a game. And as soon as I turned the crossplay on, I got straight back into a game. So I don't know whether they've shut it down or
maybe
just made it only crossplay.
But, that's what happens, right? The numbers start dwindling, and they just have to try and keep
it's 3 years old.
Time.
We've had 2 more CODs since then. So but I bet if you go on original Modern Warfare, they're still playing it.
Yeah, all hackers though.
Yeah. So promising stuff. I've been struggling with games, just trying to find something to keep me interested. The next one I played, Ni no Kuni. It's a remaster. I don't know anything about the Ni no Kuni game.
Have you not played this when it was on Boss Wave?
No, because
you must have heard about it a lot when you're on Boss Wave.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know what they are, but I don't know where this would be in the line of games. But it's Wrath of the White Witch remastered, so it's obviously an older game. So I put it on, and it's just like a cartoon. It's just like an old 90s cartoon. It looks so good. So it started off as this character. I think it was a rabbit or something. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but the story starts that his boy goes out to do something with his mate, and something happens to him. His mum goes to help save him, and she dies. And I don't know whether he's dreaming or whether I would just wonder whether he was because he's mourning or whatever. He's gone to bed one night and he's having this dream. I don't know whether it's a dream or some real world stuff. But all of a sudden, this little fella turns up. His name was Drippy, I think.
That sounds familiar.
And
he's the comedian Ron Gilbert.
No, it turns out that's not who it is. Because I had a look. It sounds like Rod Gilbert, but it's actually Dave Busses from it's Gavin and Stacey.
Dave
Bloke
Busses.
that married. Yeah.
I didn't watch Gavin and Stacey.
He's okay. Well, turns out because I googled it in the end because Lisa came down and said, "Oh, is that Rod Gilbert?" I said, "I think it is." So I went and googled it. But apparently, this guy from Gavin and Stacey modelled his character on Rod Gilbert, so that's why it sounds like him. Anyway, so this little fella is hilariously funny, and he's giving these little quips, and he's talking to this whatever it was, a rabbit or whatever it was, and you have to get this wand, a bit Harry Potterish. So you go off to find this wand, and then you make this portal and you transfer to his world, and basically there's a big nasty somebody that's caused all the people to put them under a curse, and you've got to go and stop them from, got to go and free them from their curse and save the world. And it's basically wandering around, a lot of wandering about, doing quests, fighting various. It's like a turn-based fighting.
It's weird though, and it's not quite turn-based, is it?
Strategy thing. You can. It is.
It's like
but
slow time, so it doesn't ever. It's not like stopped time, is it? Don't think.
No, it doesn't stop. But you can go into quickly. You can go into a menu and change characters, whatever, and select your shit that you want to attack these things with. And the world's bloody beautiful, and the characters are wonderful, but you go from A to B, and they warn you and say, "Oh, there's lots of little monsters around the world." And every fucking 20 foot, you have to fight something that you come across. And oh my God, it drives me around the fucking
I
head.
was
Because you
gonna
just
say,
want to do the
it sounds like
story.
you've played this for a while because I don't think you
2
get.
hours.
Yeah, you don't get to that point for a while.
Have you played
Yeah,
this,
I
Dave?
played it.
I don't. Yeah.
I think
played it
that's
for
as
2
far as I
hours.
got as well.
I went and spoke to a guy about a tree. I went and spoke to a tree, and he gives me a better wand. Then I had to go and speak to a cat king and get his fish for him. And he gave me something.
I think he's in town, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the town, and you can't go in the town until you get this spell because
Yeah.
the guard that's guarding the gate for the town has been cursed, and you have to go and get this spell to give him hope or courage or something.
Yes.
And then he gets him out of his spell. Then you go in, and that's all the whole. Like the king is cursed as well, so you have to do something to get him out of the curse. Oh God, I had to turn it off after that.
I don't think I got past that.
It's one of
It's
those
quite
things.
memorable,
I think
clearly, Dave. Though you remembered all of that stuff, and you only played it this far.
But it's really slick, right? That's the thing about Ni no Kuni.
Oh, it looks unbelievable.
It's super slick.
Watching it. Go on.
But it's just you have to be into it, right?
It's a JRPG at the end of the day, isn't it? So
yeah. You get these little familiars that you have to help you fight battles and shit, and you have to rank all them up, and you have to keep feeding them, and you have to do all this bloody stuff. And I just, oh God, do I want to get into this?
It's one of those games I would really like to have the time and the inclination to play it more, but I don't.
If it was a cartoon, I would sit and watch it.
Yeah.
If you could just cut all that shit out and watch, there must be probably.
Would you watch a cartoon where someone's having an annoying battle every 2 minutes?
No,
cut all that shit out and just do the cutscenes because there's so many. The cutscenes were just brilliant. I was just sitting there watching. Lisa actually came in and said, what are you watching?" Because I was barely doing anything for like the first hour.
There's a lot. Like Lord's just said, this looks shite in the chat, which is a bit harsh. I think it looks incredible, but
it does look incredible.
It just takes a long time to get into it. What you're doing, doesn't it? It's like there's a lot of story going on, to start with.
Yeah. So that's gone. I've deleted that. Right, I streamed a game on Saturday morning for an hour. It's called DC League of Super Pets: The Adventures of Crypto and Ace.
Sounds
What
amazing.
what made you do that?
It was on Game Pass, wasn't it? It's actually quite a good little game.
It's just
Basically,
like
you're these
Spider-Man
two.
on the PS.
Okay.
No, it doesn't really.
No, it's not. It's
Oh God, I'm
the
watching it
two.
now. Yeah.
You've got Super Dog and the other one. It must be Bat Dog.
Cat
I think
or
it's
something.
Bat.
Bat.
Yeah. Basically, you fly. They fly, and it's you just shooting, just flying through the city. Sort of 3D-ish. And you just shoot
It's like Space
shoot
Harrier,
the enemies.
but with a flying dog.
Yeah, with dogs. It was quite good actually. You had to I'm not too sure what the pet thing was. There was a bit about pets. You had to if you picked up a token as you went through the level, you got a pet and you had to get it adopted.
Was that just a normal
Totally
pet? Wasn't a super pet that you picked?
Just a normal pet. So I found a parrot, and it tells you that this parrot likes to eat this thing, and
Peanuts.
it likes to play with these. It likes music, and then you get you flick through cards of potential adopters, and you have to feed the parrot the right food, and then you have to do something else to him, and then he's ready for adoption, and then you have to flick through the characters and find the one that would suit him the best. And then you pair him off, and then they send you emails saying how wonderful they're getting on, and they took him down the beach. And
that wasn't in Space Harrier.
Knows what it. I have no idea why it was in there, but that kept me entertained for a little bit. I think there was about 3 or 4 people sitting watching me play it on Saturday mornings. So yeah, it was just one of them. It looked quite funny, so I thought I'd play it.
Get on it. It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
Check it out.
Game Pass.
Let's give it a try.
Right.
Don't be shy.
You Suck at Parking. Has anyone played You Suck at Parking?
We were
yet?
talking about
Yeah,
it
we
last
talked
week.
about this last week.
Did you? I didn't listen. All right. Well, it's just
Did
one
you
of them
suck?
stupid.
Did you suck at You Suck at Parking?
I only did the first 3-4 levels, I think, and I got fed up with that.
That's as far as I got.
Did you do any multiplayer?
No.
Any what?
Is the multiplayer any good? That looks like it could be. I haven't uninstalled it yet, though.
I don't know. I didn't do any multiplayer. So I got
That would
3
probably be
games here. 3 games: Spider Heck, Hard Space Shipbreaker, and Beacon Pines. You can dismiss those 3. Don't bother playing them at all because I give them 10 minutes of my time, and I thought I'd wasted that.
I think Hard Space Shipbreaker is actually genuinely rated okay.
Yeah,
I think my son played it for a bit. Stan played it for a while.
I don't know. Get in a certain frame of mind game, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't up for it. I couldn't be
I
bothered,
wandered round this space center for 5 minutes and turned it off.
You have to dismantle spaceships.
Yeah.
And sell the
I
salvage.
believe so. Yeah.
And then go and dismantle bigger spaceships.
No, I didn't even get a tool.
It's
come out of my head.
It's a bit like Power Washing Simulator. Those type of games, isn't it? It's one of them.
Yeah, I had a problem playing that game on my PC, but now that I think about it, it might be the time to try it out on Game Pass and play it on the. Sorry, it might be the time. It was on Game Pass PC before, and now it's on the console. I might give it a go.
Stuff. A lot of text in there.
Well, that's a loot. I'm out then.
Yeah, just go through.
A lot of figures, numbers, all this stuff about
Really?
how much.
You got to
don't
sell
need to
stuff.
worry about any of that. You don't
Text
need to
kills
worry
me
about
from
Have
the
you
sofa.
Have you got
I
this,
find
Dave? I'm sure you've talked about this.
Yeah, he played
it.
it.
I played it. Yeah.
Oh, don't you listen either?
That's what I just said. Haven't you got this?
Yeah. I played it on Game Pass.
Right. So the only other game I put any sort of time into was Deathloop. Now you can jump in at any time here, Dave.
Well, I played this too.
Oh, have you? I've
I
downloaded
have.
it, so maybe we'll be able to talk
Okay.
about it next week. Maybe.
All right. I'm sure it's very, very clever. I had not got a clue what was going on.
You got to kill some baddies, but you've got to kill them all in one go, in one run.
Yeah, well,
Not
because you
quite.
die. First of all, it starts off and he doesn't know where he is or what he's doing, but he seems to know every time he picks something up or gets to a place, he's been there before and he knows what to do. And this woman's talking to you, and I'm assuming the first time you die, that's the standard. You've got to die here because you have a confrontation with her and then you die.
Yes.
Then the game starts again from the same point that you started, but he knows how to open a door because he opened that door 2 minutes ago, and he knows where he's going, and he knows where the gun is, and he knows all this stuff. And each time you play it, obviously you're supposed to be working out the best and fastest way to get to some point to do something to stop this loop from reoccurring. And she's doing her best to stop you. I don't know why she's stopping you, because it seems like she's your friend or she's helping you or something. I don't know. But as you're walking around, there's all this writing around saying different messages in the air and saying, oh, you're going down here again, but you haven't been there yet. So you don't know that you've been down there. But so I don't know. Then it starts giving you all these traits and stuff, and I'm thinking, I don't know what all this
Are you playing Dishonored?
Here's the problem I had with it. Is it is this loop thing, right? So that you have some you wake up back on the beach each time, and then you have some sort of control over it. I played through it. I was doing everything it wanted me to do when it needed me to sneak up and kill these guys. I killed these guys or whatever like that. Or was it? I think that was the bit. And then it sends you fucking back again, right? It goes, it gives you like, here, you have to die now to be sent back to show that you know what's going, And I thought that was a bit cheap. It's like, come on, just let me get on with it. I know, I already understand you telling me what the mechanic is. Why are you killing me and making me go do the shit again? Right?
Yeah, let me go as far as I can get. Kill me naturally.
Right.
I'm assuming they improve on that as the further you go.
I think I've played a little bit further in, guys, because you do get sent back, but then because you start again and you already know the code to the door because you had to get that from the office that you had to die at before, you go through a different door, and that's when it actually starts off being a bit more complicated, and you go to certain places at certain times of the day, so you can enter a level, and I'm guessing you can further down the line you can go to different levels at different times in the day. There's morning, afternoon, and evening, and you gather clues, like you progress through the levels, and you understand that there's a safe here, but it's on a time lock and you can only access it at a certain time, or there's a door here that has a code that you need to get, but like from a previous loop you know that there's a code written down somewhere else.
But do you still need to go and find that code again to know the code, or do you
No.
just know because you just know the code? You can just go and put it in.
know it, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So the start of the game is, from what I gathered, is that this loop, this death loop, has been running hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of times, but for some reason you've lost all your memories. You already have a relationship with this other assassin, and the other assassin is protecting the loop because that's her job. But the messages that you see on the wall, is it go this way or don't go this way, or it's either your subconscious.
Is it like echoes from your past type of thing?
I think so, yeah. Or it's somebody talking to you from the outside, which I haven't actually got that part of. So like somebody's infiltrated your mind to give you hints on how to actually break this death loop, which is caused by something on the island that you're on. I think as you get further in the game, there's actually a multiplayer part of it, and that you can infiltrate other people.
Yeah, I think there's an invasion type tactic thing. You can turn it off.
when
I
this
believe
came out,
You can take it off. Yeah.
when it first came out, it's been out for a little while.
about a year.
Yeah, I remember someone was talking about
Mark
it.
Anix was right into it. I remember that.
One of the other podcast, but I was thinking, I don't actually understand what you're describing, and I've played it, and I still ain't got a fucking clue.
Did you play Dishonored
haven't got a
or
clue.
Dishonored 2 and all that? Because they're the same people
I
that made
have
the game.
played. Right, I think I did play a bit of Dishonored.
Because like the thing with Dishonored was you were supposed to be sneaky, and you got like the proper way to play the game was to not kill anyone and like not get seen. Whereas like the most fun way to play the game was to just fucking murder everyone and do all the cool shit. So they basically made fun Dishonored by making Deathloop. Like you get to use all of your skills and abilities without any penalty.
Everybody, but you don't get many bullets, unfortunately. So I got to a point in a building where they just fucking there's people everywhere, and you very quickly run out of ammo and die anyway. So
well, you can get 3 slots for weapons. So
well, I hadn't, yeah, because you can dual wield, and so I think I had an Uzi, a pistol, and a shotgun.
Yeah.
I haven't uninstalled it. My spider sense is telling me that there's more game there than I
Are you playing it on
found yet.
PC or on your console?
Well, I started playing it on the console.
Right.
And do you know what I came to the realization today is my TV is shit.
Next
it was
purchase.
so fucking bad, my TV, that in disgust, I got up and
You could sell some speakers and buy a new TV, I reckon.
I'm going to buy a new TV.
Sell some speakers first. Then you'll have a bit of money. You won't feel quite so bad about spending $2,000 on a nice TV.
How much?
But then you're going to have to buy an Xbox Series X because your S won't be good enough to buy the...
See, this is... I've got something to say about this. I started playing it on the controller, on my 360 controller, and I was playing it as a stealth game because just the controls. I was just like, it didn't feel like a proper shooter or how I play shooters. As soon as I switched over to the keyboard and mouse,
start bouncing up the stairs, you're getting ready, left, right, looking for whatever you can pop in the head, man.
I was double jumping into windows. I was like you get like teleport abilities. I was doing like 180 no scope, then teleporting elsewhere, and it's like it was.
Weren't hitting anything, but still,
just did it for fun.
No scope in that wall, yeah.
Yeah, but like it actually changed the whole game for me. Like I was actually ready to put it down because I just like I didn't enjoy. I thought it was another Dishonored because I had to sneak around and I just didn't feel like I could hit the shots or run from location to location and just quickly 90-degree left, down scope, hit somebody in the head, and then keep booking it. I couldn't do it on the controller. It might be just me and like my
because you're just used to.
I'm just used to keyboard and mouse now. Whereas before I was.
It feels like when I put the controller down and went to the PC and played on keyboard and mouse, you just feel like you're free, right? You just don't have that restriction that the controller has.
Yeah,
it's really really odd.
I wonder how it's going to work because I've done it because it's on PlayStation Plus. It came to PlayStation Plus the same day it came to Xbox Game Pass. Right. So I've downloaded it on my PlayStation because it has cool stuff with the controller in it. I know that. Like
Dave's rekindled
and stuff like that.
See, that's all well and good, but I think if Dave says, it's really a first-person shooter at its core, then you gotta go keyboard and mouse.
Well, we'll see.
There is a multiplayer too, eh?
Yeah. That's when you play on keyboard and mouse. You go on the multiplayer to play keyboard and mouse. Fucking.
Well, there is an option in there to only play against people with the same control scheme as you. So you play it with the controller, and as soon as somebody invades you, go onto the keyboard and mouse, and then wreck them.
Nice. Okay, so Deathloop has to get another.
I didn't actually play any gameplay video.
Yeah,
doing that.
There's so much. You go into it unlocks clues and so much shit that you've got to sit and take the time. I think sit and read.
Oh,
read what it's actually saying.
I tell you what, I'll talk about quickly as well when I was playing this, is that it tells you how long Xbox Game Pass, Xbox app tells you how long it takes
Oh,
to
that's new.
to
How long to
complete
beat
the
stuff.
story, or do all the side stuff. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, it's new update to the app. It's just all every game that's on there now. It links to how long to beat to tell you.
How long to beat? That's it. Yeah. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, there's a couple of
definitely.
things they're doing right on the Xbox app. When I load it up here, it automatically tells me, it goes, your machine's going to struggle with this,
Ooh.
or you can play this. So that's pretty good. And
Mine
I don't
doesn't.
mean
Mine has never told me it won't ever play this game.
No, I mean, but I know I didn't know, but I noticed it on the laptop, right? Because when I've downloaded a few things on the laptop, and there's some stuff there that the laptop just doesn't break a sweat with, and there's other things like a proper like Deathloop. It
An
would
actual
go,
game. This is like new.
an actual game. It's going to go, nah, you shouldn't be playing that now.
Oh, that's interesting because Beacon Pines, I only played it for 5 minutes and it gave me 100 Gs.
Oh,
So
nice.
I might have a look to see how long. And if there's 10 achievements and they're all 100, so I'm assuming that's like a 3-hour game. So I might.
Beacon Pines, one of the games that you played
That's a story game, is it?
Oh fuck yeah! 10 minutes of click, 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 click. Oh, achievement! Thank you.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's all story. It's actually a book.
What is Spider Heck then?
Oh, go on, Dave. You'll have to tell them.
So yeah, I played it for like half hour before I jumped on. So Spider Heck,
half an hour.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
right, okay.
So it's a 2D platforming beat 'em up. Beat 'em up, yeah, kind of. You're a spider. The games that I was playing was like just a quick match. It's 1v1v1v1, so 4 players in total. And weapons spawn in a map, and maps have a variety of different things like no gravity, or like a lava bed at the bottom, or different types of things are floating, and basically you've got to navigate around the level killing your opponents using guns, lightsabers, and the environment, bombs and bazookas and stuff. So it's a fun little battler. Bill's like, nope, don't like it.
It looks pretty bonkers.
It is bonkers. It's the height of stupidity, and it knows it. It's the kind of game where it encourages 4 people to get together just to play and be stupid. Yeah.
It looks. It doesn't look like it, but it's similar type. Is it Towerfall? That was a big thing. Whereas it was just like pure multiplayer, kill each other on a 2D plane, sort of like a vertical.
Yeah, I used to play a game called Soldat, which is similar, which was you were a soldier, and it was 2D maps, and you just had to run around, pick up weapons, and shoot other players on a big 2D map. But yeah, there's a few of these games around at the moment. I think this is only a big one because it's on Game Pass at the moment.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. I saw it come to Game Pass.
I think it was. I can't. Don't quote me, but I think there was a what's it called? When they get money early.
Oh,
Kickstarter. Not early access. Kickstarter. I think there was a Kickstarter for this.
It looks kind of nice.
It's okay, but it'll be fun to, like, I don't know, if you have some mates around your house, or like if you just.
That's us out then.
Yeah, but you can play it online. It's just that we've got lots of other games to play.
Yep.
So yeah.
Good games, some of them.
I got one other game to play.
Yeah. What else have I got on my list? The other thing I played a bit more of was Opus Magnum.
Did you talk about this last week?
No.
I don't remember you talking about this.
I think I said what you spoke about it. I was like, I want to pick it up again. So I had played a little bit of it already. but you spoke about it, so I picked up a bit more. And some of the things that you've completed in the ways you've done them, I've got no idea how you've done them.
What, in like terms of, I've been trying to pick up. My main focus has been trying to make it as small as possible. Like,
Yeah,
in my area has been my
yeah.
I want to make it nice and tight.
See, I can beat you on price. I can't beat you on
Right.
space or
Yeah.
cycles. So yeah. I think I got through the first act. I think I'm halfway through the second act.
Yeah, I'm on
now.
the third chapter. I think it is. I'm on now.
Yeah.
Some of the levels I just look at and I'm like, I can't see a neat way to do it, so I just fucking do it as I just build the machine as it goes, and then I'm like, I can't be asked to fucking try and make that any neat. It was a massive pain in the ass just to get it to do it. But sometimes I'm like, I can see a really cool way of doing this, so I'm going to be like, get it all compressed into a really tiny little area and try and use as little stuff as possible. But usually, the smaller the area, I find the more you need to spend on parts. I think there's one because I don't know, it continues to add new mechanics as you go through.
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 3 and it's still adding new stuff and like new things to do to change the atoms and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, the alchemy of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is interesting. It's easy to pick up. Well, not
It's
easy
that, like I say, all of their games that they've made, this is the most gamey of them because like all the other ones were like, it was like I might as well have a fucking job basically doing this. This is like properly writing machine code and all that stuff, and I was just like, it comes to a point where like I'm just too thick to work this out. I can't be asked to learn what I need to learn.
Yeah. So I am getting used to with this game actually typing out the commands that I need. So whether it needs a push, which is a W, or an S, or like, and I'm getting used to the keys that correspond to.
Is there? I haven't even done that. I just drag stuff across from there.
Oh right, no, they all have a corresponding.
No, I didn't even
keyboard
notice that. I just drag stuff across from the little menu on the side because I'm like, I ain't got room in my brain to remember all of those little things. I'm just like, no.
But yeah, it's a fun little one, and it is because you're ahead of me. It's like watching.
Can you see my solutions then? You can't. You can't. Doesn't show you my solutions because I'm obviously ahead of you, so I don't. See. I haven't seen anyone else's scores on my friends list because it's just like I just see like the averages.
So I can see the area, the cost, and the number of cycles that you've used to beat it. So I can only beat you on cost at the moment. I've gone back and was like, oh yeah, I'll try and beat him on the rest. It's like, nah, not even close with some of them. Yeah.
I should record more GIFs.
Yes.
Because every time you solve a puzzle, you can record a GIF of the solution.
Yeah. It'll be really. I wonder if it does it so that you can't copy somebody's solution, like see somebody's solution from the game, just so you don't copy them, because that would be a bit cheesy. But yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just so many ways you can solve the same problem, I guess. Like, you're basically, I mean, you could make it as complicated as you want and expensive or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you in your face. There's no limit on the amount you cost, or no limit on the amount of cycles or whatever it takes to do something. You could make it look really fancy and do loads of basically like a fucking little display before it finished doing whatever it was doing. Or you can make it as neat and tidy, as efficient as possible. So
yeah, it has no bearing on the actual outcome of it.
As long as you create the product at the end of whatever you need to make the solution. Yeah, it works. So you could make it as massively convoluted and basically make machines dance to fucking do it, or you can just do it super efficient. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the little brain. It's making my brain work a little bit, which is not something that generally happens. So.
And then that's it for me. Just definitely Opus Magnum and Spider-Hack.
All right.
Well, I've managed to shut the show notes down somehow. So
well, you're up, buddy boy.
I've only got the other game that we've been playing, and then I've got one other game. Is that right? That
looks correct. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tick about. I haven't played much of it. I played a demo. I played a demo. It's a time limited demo on PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know if it's still available. If you downloaded it, maybe you can still get it. I don't know. I can still play it today. I know that much. And it's called Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is a Soulsborne game. It is made by Team Ninja, Koei Tecmo of Neo fame, which made, it was like a Soulsborne game where you were like a pirate, but ended up in samurai Japan or whatever. So it was like a samurai game, but you were like an Irish pirate somewhere. It was a bit weird. But I couldn't get on with that because I played a lot of the Dark Souls games, and the control scheme is definitely like to attack using your shoulder buttons and stuff like that, and the face buttons are used for other things. This is like all the attacks are on your face buttons, and your shoulder buttons and triggers make all sorts of different things happen, and I'm like, I just can't get on with it.
This isn't out yet, though, or
no,
nearly out.
This is out. This is going to hit Game Pass, I think, when it does come out.
Okay.
It was
not
on
until 2023, though.
Yeah, but if you do beat the demo, you get some fucking helmet or something for the main game when it does come out. But
well, there you go.
I like it in a way, but I just got to a point where I was just like, I could not be asked to try and beat this fucking giant tiger that has killed me about 6 times now.
But my helmet.
Yeah. But yeah, if you liked Neo, I think you'll probably like this. It's good.
Helmet's not enough.
It looks good. There's loads of.
It's not enough, is it?
No, it's not.
What if it was 2 helmets?
I'm not thinking. Like I say, it's fucking Elden Ring. Elden Ring's broken everything else because it's not Elden Ring. And that was awesome. So I'd rather go and play Elden Ring again, basically.
So
you know what I would do? That would do. I would actually buy Elden Ring on the PlayStation before I bought this, even though I already own Elden Ring on the PC. So
and it's going to be free on PlayStation. But
no, it's not going to be an Xbox Game Pass, I think.
Xbox,
maybe I'll play it when it comes to Game Pass if it's on PC as well. But yeah, it's good, but it's not great for me. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's shit.
It's not shit. It's just not for me. Okay, so then
Don't forget to tell the developer about that review.
Yeah. I think it's been pretty well received generally, but
yeah, all right, looks fancy.
It is. It does look really nice. Yeah, I can't be honest. I haven't uninstalled it yet though. So there's only one other game. The only game worth talking about. The only game in town. Hunt Showdown.
Dun dun dun.
Played quite a bit of this.
I was going to say we've all played quite a bit of this, but not all of us. Dave still hasn't. We've been trying to tempt him back, but
so I bought it twice and refunded it twice. So
yeah,
I looked back and I refunded it in March 2020, and that's when I last played it.
Pilch, it wasn't on your list. Did you play any more of it?
Not since I bought it, no.
So you played it on the free weekend, was it? And then you bought it and you not played it?
Yeah, and then I bought it. Yeah, and then the bombshell fucking hit me that it's only cross-play console to console.
Yeah.
So I'm on my fucking own.
You gotta get a PC, mate.
I tried to convince my mechanics to buy it on the Discord, but apparently it's like
it's gone back up in price now.
Yeah, he's missed the sale.
Yeah.
It's gone back up on PC as well.
I don't think it's going anywhere. So
there's new stuff coming soon. I can tell you that much.
It's not going anywhere, and I bet you, and I don't know what expression, but I'll bet you whatever that comes back on sale pretty quick. Because it feels like it has momentum now, and they need to play it.
They can put it on sale because, like me, and people who get into the game will then go and spend some dollar on characters and stuff, there's absolutely tons of paid DLC that you can buy. There's no like ongoing fee, but it's just like, you know what? I kind of like the idea of having a cool looking guy or girl. And once I've unlocked those with real cash, they only cost me $200 in-game dollars to replace. So that's a benefit because I've always got a character with 3 traits. They're random, but they cost you like over 1,000 normally for a random looking guy or girl with 3 traits. Will cost you probably around 1,000 of the in-game dollars. Whereas if you buy one with real cash, it only costs $200 to unlock that same character. So it saves you $800. Then you can spec them all out with all the guns that you want.
With all that money that you save,
and all of the fucking liquid bombs and fucking wasp bombs and God knows what else is coming down the line. Because they're teasing a new, I don't know, a tool, I guess it could be, which is like you have your 2 weapons that you can carry usually. Like you're allowed sort of like each weapon is like either a 1 or 2 or a 3 cost in terms of like
slots, right?
like
Size,
a weight.
like
It's
small,
like
medium,
a weight.
and large.
Yeah.
Small, medium,
and
and
you
large
can have
weapons.
up to 4 in your 2 slots, basically, unless you have one of the perks, which means you can have up to 5. So you could have like a big gun and a medium weapon, or you can have a one. Usually, it's like a small gun, or
No, you
a
can
small
have either
weapon.
have a smaller and large, or 2 mediums.
Yeah, but
right?
if you
Pretty
have the
much,
perk, you
basically.
can have a large and a medium. But
right, okay.
so
Well, that just
that's just fucking mechanics of the game. When you once that's not the basics. That's like once you start getting into it and you start creating builds for your character. Like I want to do a certain style of play. I'm going to have certain perks that mean I can do everything really quietly, or I can, like I say, carry more weapons, or fucking, I don't know, run past birds. Not run past them because they always set up off anyway. But walk past birds quite close without setting them off and letting everyone know that I've just walked past some birds. Because a lot of it is about
traits are where it's at to build
Yeah.
to build your character, though, because it doesn't matter how much. I mean, you can have the money's good. I'm like loaded. I've got like over 30 grand, so I'm constantly making money. But really, you need your characters to survive to get the traits to then build your character with like stealthily, or is he aggro or whatever. But even saying all that, I mean, I ran characters out today that were, in the 20s or 30s. They got killed. Never seen them again after all that. And I'm at my happiest actually with a level 1 character, pretty carefree. It's like, if he gets killed, I don't care. I really don't care. I ran out. I had a level 49 character a few days ago, and so what we're trying to do is get level 50 characters.
Yeah.
And I've got 2, and this one was going to be the 3rd. And he was level 49 and probably 90% of the way to the 50th level. Like, all he had to do was pretty much just enter a game and leave the game alive, and he would have been fine. And he fucking got ganked, right? And you're just like, well, after all that, I was that close. So
did you shut the game down then and cry?
No, I didn't actually. Surprisingly, I was all right about it.
I've become less attached to my guys now. Like I say, I've got a few characters that look cool. I'm like, it's only $200. If I lose someone, yeah, it's a pain, but it's like, whatever.
It's not. It hasn't got the even though you've invested all this time. I think the big thing is like the path to upgrading weapons and stuff like that. You want having access to the stuff is more important than having the stuff. It's more important than having high level characters. I think I'm going to prestige. I really do. I hovered over it today. I'm like, I've got characters who I've got access to almost, all the weapons and stuff like that. Tons of money, and I still like, fuck it. I might just prestige, because you just lose it all and just start from scratch.
Yeah, lose all your money, lose all your hunters.
Yeah,
lose all your progression.
But I think it's going to be interesting starting the game fresh from a new set of eyes, having put in 80 hours, right? So that's all for the badge.
Prestige in it. Oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah, there's no other benefit other than it's basically, like I said, like we were talking about it the other day. Like Matt, friend of the show, he just immediately prestige straight away because it was just like, I don't know, that's what he wanted to do. But I'm a bit like, I've just got to level 100 today, and I'm like, you know what? I quite like just being able to choose whatever I like generally and having a go with everything while I can. So I'm going to prestige when I get bored of having all of the stuff, and I'm like, there's nothing else for me to do, la la la. probably not going to happen, to be honest, because I'm not good enough to like just go, yeah, I could just walk into a game and fucking kill everyone. That's not happening. But yeah,
I think that's the thing. I think I've got the bomb lance, I've got all this stuff, all this money, and I think I'm like, just fuck it. I'll just prestige and hobble myself back to the beginning again. I think that's it.
I want to get there's an achievement for having 5 level 50 hunters in your roster, so I want to try.
That
I want
one
to try
does
and get
kill
that.
me. Yeah, that one's hard because I do have 2 level 50s sitting in the bank
For
because
Yeah.
they'll go.
the
They'll
achievements,
disappear.
though. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
realise
like,
you.
well, we got an achievement. Was that yesterday? There was I didn't know it was an achievement. I was just like, I was just going to do this thing, and I did that thing, and it went, oh, there's an achievement. I was like, that's cool, because I didn't know that was going to happen. So I'm not going to spoil that because someone might just, on the off chance, just do that thing. I don't know. I think it was hidden because it didn't show up. I don't remember seeing it as a thing. It's not like I actively searched out to do it. I was just like, oh, I'm going to do this because I wonder if that worked. Like, not because I thought there was an achievement, and I was just like, oh. It was like a bit of a hidey thing that I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Got rewarded for that little reward. But yeah, there's just like, it all boils down to like, it's you got janky guns and you're shooting people. Like the shooting zombies is fine, and killing the bosses is fine, but it comes alive when you get into a firefight with other people. And that's like the fucking you've all got shit guns, basically. No one's got a good. Well, there's one really good gun, and it's like a big rifle that's got a 15 drum magazine, and it's fully automatic, isn't it? I think, but literally you get 15 bullets for it, and that's it. So once you've done your drum, you're done, unless you pick up more
And it's
ammo.
expensive too.
Yeah, and it's $1,250 to get that gun to go in again.
Right.
And if you die within the first 2 minutes, you'll be like, fuck. Because someone could just headshot you from fucking miles away and you haven't seen them. So
yeah, that happens.
So yeah, there's that risk reward, I guess. Well, it's not it's not even that big. It's not a bigger reward to take an expensive gun in. I mean, you are potentially better armed than somebody else, but if someone gets the drop on you, you're fucked anyway. So, like, we were sneaking in earlier into this camp, all being super sneaky. Mark and Matt was ahead of me. They went in first, and I was just looking left, and then literally just got headshot instantly. I didn't have a fucking clue where the guy was. I was like, fuck it. And so, like, then about 2 minutes after that, I think it was one of the others got killed as well, and the other one ran away basically to try, so it's safe distance to try and get us. But what happens is once you're downed, you don't expire like you do in PUBG. You've got a timer, haven't you? Once you're downed and then if you like left too long, is that right?
Well, you can get downed, but then once you're killed, you're dead.
That's once you get down, properly downed, that's it. You're dead. But this game, like, you can be downed, but you could be revived unless someone decides to burn your corpse. And once your corpse is burned, the only way to get revived is someone has to pick up a bounty, which is picked up either from the boss when they've been banished, or someone who's already killed the boss picked up the bounty and you kill them and take their bounty. Then you can revive a properly dead person. So that didn't happen today. Two of us got burned and the other one escaped. Oof. I did that to the other two once because it was just like, I'm not fucking killing these guys. So I left survived, and then about the next game I died and someone else got away, and then I think the next game we all three died. So yeah, but the PvP is where it's at, and it's like,
yeah, of course it is. Well, with my level 49 character, I went in with Matt, and the game. All we had to do was just maybe even just pick one clue and get out, right? Instead, straight away we got ganked. Straight a fucking way we got ganked, or Matt did. He got ganked, shot by this guy. I ran away and just hid in the bush, and I just left it for ages. I was just like, I'm just gonna wait this out. Hopefully the threat moves on, and then I'll sneak back and I'll revive Matt. And I left it for probably a good 5 minutes or whatever, which is a lot of time in game. And I snuck really slowly all the way back and round through the forest. Fucking the guy had not left. He had still waited. He sort of knew I was, and he fucking killed me. And we had a little bit of a fight, which was okay, but he still killed me. So a part of me was just like, you have to be kidding me. Like, that guy was so close to level 50, you could taste it. my character to retirement. It was like straight out of that Simpsons episode where it's like little Susie. She's just, I'm retiring tomorrow. My little Susie just left university. You know, we've just bought our holiday cottage. You know, it's that cop on his last day of the job, right? And he,
I'm too old for this shit.
and but I still, even though I should have been really raging, I was like, you know what? Fair play. That guy sat in a bush and just waited.
He
And if
outweighted
anyone,
you. He outweighs even you.
he outweighted us, right? The fucking cowardly panthers that we are. So, you know, I don't know. It just offers up so many different ways to play and so many different scenarios. And sometimes you can play 3 or 4 games on the trot and they're pretty straightforward, but it does throw up some golden nuggets of
one of the games earlier.
Like,
well, we played I played 2 or 3, whatever, this afternoon with Matt. And the first, I was like, I'd a bit sleepy, a bit dozy, not really slept very well, blah blah. Come into a game, Matt just fucking murdered about 6 people. It was like unbelievable. I was like, I didn't even see any of it. I was just like, I can hear someone near me, and it was just like, I was like, dropped him. And then it's like, oh, yeah, there's another one. I can hear another one near me. This is me. And then he's just like, bang, I've killed him. And I was like, fucking hell. And then he got into he had some gun. Like, it's the Mauser pistol. It's not called a Mauser in game, a Dolch, I think it is. So it's got, it's like a semi-automatic pistol with a magazine rather than a revolver. So it just like fires like bang, 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 bang. Whereas the revolvers are like click, bang, click, bang, click, bang, click, bang. And that's even like accelerated generally. But yeah, he fucking dropped like 5 or 6 guys in one game. It was crazy. And then he did it again the next game. I think I killed 1 guy and he killed another 3 in one game. And it was just on fire. And I was like, I don't know if we just got cocky after that. That's when it all started going downhill. We just fucking died about 3 or 4 games in a row after that. It's like, fuck. But yeah, I fucking still
there's a lot
of
games going on at the moment. Matt's usually involved in every one of them. He's about to prestige 2nd time. He's close. He's level 9. He was level
done like
93
110 hours or something stupid.
Yeah, he's off the charts on that one. So,
yeah.
But it continues to be good. I'm sure we'll be talking about it for a long while. I know there's Defo just bought it, so I think he's going to be popping up. We'll have to take him out for a spin and show him the ropes if he hasn't done.
It's quite. Yet. It is quite. Like I said before, I played it and refunded it because it was just like, on your own. It's just brutal. And if you've got no one to show you the ropes and all that stuff, or just have a laugh with even while you're doing it, it's probably not that great fun. But
it's not.
It's all about.
I know it is fun, but obviously nowhere near.
It's more fun with like people you can actually talk. Yeah. I mean, you can talk to the randos, use in-game chat and stuff like that if you want to, but it's not quite the same as playing with people you know.
Yeah, I was playing a game with there was 2 Australian. They obviously knew each other, and they was going around doing their thing. They were talking. I weren't talking, but they were talking to each other. Because there's that thing where you can only hear them if you're near them, can't you?
Yeah, there's proximity chat.
Away.
So even your enemies can hear you and stuff like that. So you can shit talk people like when you're about to kill them and stuff.
So I'm wandering around with this, following this bloke about, and all he's doing is swearing at his, don't know whether his girlfriend or just a girl, and swearing like buggery. Stop walking away from me. I can't hear what you're saying. And all of a sudden she'd come into my ear and start yapping at him. And I was just sitting there chuckling away. But I was just doing my own thing, really, just wandering about. They were doing all the tasks and I was just going around shooting things, making a noise. But they hadn't played it as much as me because they was finding, talking about the things they were coming across. They didn't like the birds, didn't realise they were scared of birds, or didn't know that they could shoot the chicken hut, shoot the lamp above chickens to shut them up, or with the dogs to burn them and things like that. They were finding all these things out as they was playing. So I was just sort of hanging around them and just taking out zombies or whatever they are from afar. So but even then, I was still loving playing it. It is a good game, but obviously when you're buggering about with your mates, it's 10 times better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been interesting.
I need someone. I've got to get someone on the go. You never know; they might make it bloody.
It is still on sale on the PlayStation. I can tell you that until the 28th.
Well,
But
I mean, I can play with PlayStation.
yeah,
People,
but
so,
you can't team up. You can play. It'll pull players together. There are sort of ways to try and get together, but there's
Oh,
no like
yeah, I
easy.
looked at that and they
Just
were
join.
saying, yeah,
Yeah.
you've both got to click at the same time.
Yeah, all that crap. Yeah.
You get teamed up, but yeah. This is a bit poor, really, isn't it? It's been out for a long time. You would think they'd.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think the
Maybe the
vast
effort.
majority of the community is probably playing on PC. I hate to sort of sound like snob or PC snob or whatever, but I think that is where the
Yeah,
main,
but once.
player base is.
Yeah, but that's all very well. But once those people drop off and it's just the diehards, then they're not gonna. They'll appreciate having a couple of tards come from Xbox or PlayStation.
It would be good.
to have a game
The
with
thing is,
them.
like,
Otherwise,
people on console just always moan about PC players. They don't like it. It's not worth the developer spending all that effort to fucking get crossplay with PC, and then everyone on fucking console just complains about everyone playing on PC and doesn't play.
See, I don't mind that because when I play COD against PC, I'm just get like I'm happy that I've managed to flipping take them out.
Yeah.
So I see it more of as an achievement if I do well.
Yeah.
And you look in the lobby and like half of them are mouse and keyboard. You think, oh well, okay, well I'm up against it here, and I don't say how
Thing
unless
with
they're
like
like clean.
Call of Duty,
they're
like
cheap.
you're respawning. It doesn't. It's not as big a deal because you can just like you're just straight
Yeah.
back in the action, aren't you? Whereas in Hunt,
Yeah, but
if
if
you get
yeah.
killed, that's game over pretty much. Especially if you're on a round 18.
Or when I was playing Warzone or something, and you
Yeah.
just fucking get shot from 19 miles away, and that's the end of the game. You think, okay, I'll just start again, shall I?
Yeah.
But like I say, I'd rather have a disadvantage just to have the fun of playing with people, but they don't seem to.
You can
be
disadvantage yourself
taking
by
that-
spending about £2,000 on a PC. You'll be fine.
I'd still use controller though, so I still wouldn't be any better off.
I don't even know if it works, to be honest, but I'm sure you could play on a controller on PC. I'm sure it's on there. Someone was using a different weapon select menu, like a controller option. It's like a wheel. Come up with a wheel to select weapons. I was like, oh, that's not what it looks like. But yeah.
We have actually got 3 Windows PCs in the house. It's just that one's Jack's, one's Daisy's, and one's Lisa's. So I could go and play
just
on
have to
Daisy's,
play when they're out at work or something. Get them out working.
Work? You're fucking joking,
Okay, so if that's Hunt, and I guess we're going to be hearing from it again next week, is that a good point for us to finish up?
I guess so.
Okay. All right. Well, if nobody has anything left to add, then let us have Dave do his bit.
Oh, so thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions, get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to semi-regularly. Neil, do you want to give us a shout out for
the chatters who actually chatted are Lord Sumu and Mint Safe. Thank you for joining. Any lurkers, thank you also.
And Fraser, he chatted.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he doesn't count.
And me.
No.
Yeah, you two don't count.
All
right.
Prime subscribers don't count.
Fine.
Prime subscribers do count.
They do if they're not you two.
And me.
Or any of us.
Okay, gents, thank you very much. Good to see you again. Thanks to everyone who's listening. As per usual, we will catch up with you again next week. So long.
Been a
See you
pleasure.
later.
Haters.